welcome to the very first episode of the Boss Rush podcast. I'm your host, Braden Lander, and today I'm delighted to be in the presence of Kyler Ramos,
Yo, yo, yo!
Jonathan Ferris,
Howdy.
and Malik Fleming.
Hey.
All right.
That's a really wide smile with that, too.
Oh, like a really wide smile?
Yeah.
Like a Joker? Like a...
Oh,
yeah,
ew.
you know how I got these scars?
Yeah, exactly. So we are doing this podcast online. So everything that can go wrong will probably go wrong. The audio quality is not going to be the best premium, but we
might get some turbulence.
Yeah, we might hit some turbulence. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Malik.
Yeah, we're shooting this podcast high in the sky on an airplane ride, so just expect
Yes.
all the turbulence.
As your pilots,
Exactly.
we hope you have a great ride, and enjoy the onboard meals.
I hope you don't
We're
mind
serving
coming.
lunch and breakfast.
At the same
We don't
time,
serve dinner.
No dinner.
No dinner.
you-
I'm sorry.
I
If
hope
you
you
brought some peanuts, I hope you have some peanuts.
Mhm.
That's only how you're going to survive on here. It gets extremely cold at night.
whoa.
We don't have
Also-
AC, so get ready for negative degrees. I hope you brought a jacket.
Also, no
Also,
Take
don't
seatbelt.
care,
want to-
folks.
Also, if you want to talk, our stewardess will constantly be talking over you. So,
If you get too loud, we will call security.
yeah, exactly.
It's good to
We'll pull
Yeah.
United on you.
Oh, exactly. Fly United. We are sponsored by United Airlines.
But I thought we were sponsored
That is a
by
fact.
Sponsored by who?
Spirit.
Oh, both. Why not both?
Okay.
Okay. Today we're going to be going over every week we're going to start by talking about what we're currently playing. Today specifically, though, we're going to be talking about how we started playing games and kind of like the big key moments, like kind of introducing us into games, I suppose, or a moment that broadened your horizons. Then we're going to hop over onto those Pokemon Switch rumors and what we want out of that. And then we're going to go over, because it's in the name, and this is our first episode, we got to go over our favorite boss fights. Like what boss fights are good, what boss fights are bad, like what makes a good boss fight. So we picked out some of our favorite boss fights. We'll be going over those, just talking about boss fights in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know it's
Awesome.
made out of a bunch of anger and hatred for the boss. That's what makes it good, but
Yeah,
we'll
exactly.
discuss it.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
break,
like the nerdy Conte.
Yes.
if you break a controller or a cable over a boss, you know it's a good boss.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know
yeah.
it's a great boss.
If
That's
I
not
hang
true.
myself for a boss, you know it's the best one.
Yeah, exactly. So you obviously don't have any good bosses, then Malik, if you're still here. with us.
Thank God you're
If you
still
haven't
here
thought
with
of
us.
that, you haven't had good bosses.
Yeah, so you have nothing to contribute because you're still with us.
Eject.
Yeah, eject.
Can
So-
we eject this guy?
Yeah.
All right.
Kyler or anybody.
Oh, boy.
What are you guys playing? I know what me and Malik are playing.
Ugh.
I know what
Hey,
me and
wait a
Malik are
second.
playing.
I thought we were
What?
starting with stories.
Stories.
No.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Second. That's
How
second.
we were born.
Get it straight.
I see.
Kids,
It was
do you know how sex works?
it was cold and dark.
For 9 long months.
Okay, starting out with games.
Gams.
I wish I could pet dogs in Persona.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could have a pet other than that annoying cat that's in my bag.
Who tells you to go to bed all the time?
Yeah, for
playing
real,
Persona-
that used to piss me off during
You're
the.
playing Persona 5 right now, Malik, huh?
Yeah,
You're like,
I haven't played it in a bit.
how many hours are you right now?
32 and 45 minutes.
Oh, not
Yeah,
bad.
45 minutes down to the T. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts?
Oh, right now it's actually fucking amazing. It really
Really?
is. Yeah, it beats Shin Megami Tensei in the aspect of the story, it actually has me more enticed. I kind of didn't care about the story too much in Shin Megami Tensei.
Mhm.
It's the fusions that got me enticed, which is still here.
Yeah.
But I think the combat is less challenging at the same time. It
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
haven't died half as much. I haven't died 100th as much.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's bad. That's gonna be in the boss fight section, but there's some that I have to talk about.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, dude. In terms of difficulty, Persona 5 is I think the easiest Persona, but like towards the end, it just gets effed up, dude.
That actually
Oh.
like excites me a little bit because the thing that threw me off of Persona 4, and I know I was talking about this, Kyler,
Yeah,
was that like it was the very first boss in the entire game.
it's
And it
the
was
hardest
so
boss.
hard. I couldn't get past it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
man.
Yukiko boss is something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I
It's
like when I
ridiculous.
borrowed it from Jonathan. The only reason that game stayed intact is because it was Jonathan's.
Shin Megami
That
Tensei.
should, yeah,
What was that, 4?
yeah, Shin Megami Tensei 4. They have an
Oh, is that-
expansion for that, but
Is that the 3DS one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I never beat that one, but I got like halfway through it.
I think I was
You got
about
to beat
halfway through as well.
Jonathan,
That's
did you
pretty
ever play Persona?
I have Persona 4 waiting for me, but I've got other games I need to get to first. But it
Oh,
is
yeah.
high on my list.
Nice.
Yeah. You have Persona 4 Golden, right?
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
version. That's the one.
That is the one. Yeah, that's what I played as well.
That's why I
It's
have a Vita.
Yeah, pretty much.
Same.
That's it. No, but like I tried playing Persona 4, and I have like 10 hours in that game, but half of those hours are me trying to beat the first boss.
Yeah, you know, like
Just-
Persona 4 is actually like my first JRPG.
Mhm.
So like it was my first. Like I have never played Pokemon or anything like that up until Persona 4. Like that, like
Whoa.
turn-based combat. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know, it was just something about the music, and I thought the characters were really funny, but it carried me through. But, like,
Wow.
Yeah,
dude,
it's a mixture of the characters and it's that fusion function.
the
it
fusion's
really-
so cool.
The fusion's amazing. I love the creatures. The art is just, I don't know. It's not like, it's goofy, but at the same time, it has like a dark aspect to it,
Yeah.
where it's like it goes to mythical areas, like
Mhm.
in all kinds of regions. It goes into Asian mythics, Christian and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
Yeah, the designs of the monsters were really something that stuck out to me in 4 in particular. Like the freaking, what do you call it? The summons, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Like
or
yeah,
no,
like,
the demons, or
Yeah,
I mean-
The
demons
shadows.
and demons. Yeah, whatever. There was that one that was like a literal penis.
yes.
Yep.
Just a purple dick.
That's the
Dude.
only one I know.
You get the
Yeah.
right personas, you can actually fuse and summon Satan.
Oh, whoa, what?
Yeah, yeah. It's like there's something funny about a bunch of teenagers like, all right, let's summon Satan, yay!
Yeah, let's use our wait. What did they use in Persona 4? Cards, right?
Yeah, those cards.
Yeah, let's use our Yu-Gi-Oh cards and summon Satan.
Woo! Let's solve this murder, guys! With
So,
the help
like-
of Satan.
So the characters, Mike, you like them?
Yeah, no, they even the ones that like looked like they were going to be annoying are not annoying. They actually have content to them. You know, they're not. I thought the guy who was trying to be your friend at the start was always going to be, he's going to be like Brock from Pokemon. You know, I
What's
thought
his
he was
name?
going to constantly be
Satoru?
talking and. I
Is that
guess I don't know who
Satoru?
Satoru is.
Ryuji?
Yeah,
No, wait. Is it Ryuji? I thought Ryuji was the guy selling you guns.
no.
No, that's EY.
See, guys, I know my persona.
Scrub.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
In the
I
end,
wanna
it just
get
really shows you, like, how much content they have to them. The one guy who annoyed me was Yusuke. I
Oh
thought he
yeah.
was going to be annoying, but he actually turns out better than I thought he would be.
Yeah, oh yeah, I
That
love
just shows you,
Yusuke.
like, not to judge a book by its cover in this, like, in this
Is-
game specifically too.
Is Yusuke the guy? I think he's gay, right?
I mean,
No,
he
that's
looks gay, but he's not gay.
No, yeah, he's very eccentric. He's an artsy type.
Yeah, he takes like an art show or something, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like so oblivious. That's
Yeah,
what's so
I
good
heard
about
I
him.
heard that he was like such a good character.
Dude, everybody hates him, but I love
What? Really?
Yusuke.
Yeah, no, I
people-
hated him at the start, but then once you really find out, he's not too bad.
Yeah, like once you start hanging out with him, he's got one of the funniest or some of the funniest scenarios in his like social link or confidant, whatever they call it.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you bring up Persona, you got to mention the music.
Yeah, I do. Well, in this one, honestly, I enjoy the music a little less than Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Okay. Wow.
It was a lot more relaxed and mysterious. Like that sounds strange. That's a strange way to put it, but it was definitely mysterious. It was like
No, that
it
makes
was
sense.
different. It was like rhythmic, but here it's more jazzy, and it's good.
Yeah.
And I like the overworld music more. Like it sounds kind of like early 2000s, Enya, grunge, just sad music.
Yeah.
But overall, the combat music and everything else in Shin Megami Tensei 4 was a lot better.
Mhm. How do you feel about the dungeons? Because I heard that the dungeons could kind of get a little long sometimes.
They were long, but I never found myself like really. Okay, I found myself bored in some parts, but once you get to a new area, which is not too infrequent,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty nice. Like, and you
Yeah.
have to find your way through. As long as you don't get lost with the puzzle or get lost yourself,
It's
you're good.
it's coming, Malik. It's coming.
Yeah, like the one thing that I heard that interested me too was, I thought all the dungeons, I thought that they all would visually look like similar, but I guess that there's like a different theme with each
Yeah.
one,
Yeah,
which
I
I
just
didn't
got
know
through
that.
a museum,
Oh,
and
okay.
now I need to get through I'm looking for a mafia.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah,
That's
his in particular is I think one of my favorites.
Oh,
I
that
hope
is.
it's good.
Yeah,
It's
I
pretty
gotta
good.
get to that game.
It's got some good music in it too.
Yeah,
I gotta get to
I'm-
that game.
it's kind of cool who you can bring on your side though throughout the story. That's what I like a lot.
Yeah.
hmm So, Jonathan, what have you been
Yeah.
playing?
I have been playing Kingdom Hearts. A lot of it.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I've
Yes.
been- I started playing the 1.5, 2.5 collection back last summer
Mhm.
after the Toy Story trailer. I figured it was finally time to jump in. And I played through
Yeah.
all of the first game. I played through all of Chain of Memories. And I played through almost half of Kingdom Hearts 2 before I just burnt out
hmm
and I had my fill. But,
Yeah.
Enough time has passed, and the new trailer for 3 just came out, and I've finally been jumping
Oh,
back in. I
yes.
finished up 2, and I've just started Birth by Sleep. I've already finished one of the stories, and I'm already on my way through the second one. And
Yeah.
I'm still hooked.
Okay. Here's a question. Did you like one or two more?
Oh, I think I definitely liked 2 more.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So, in regards to the gameplay, story, characters.
Definitely gameplay. Like the gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 2, I think is fantastic.
Yeah. I would agree with that. That's instantly the first thing that I noticed from going from 1 to 2 was that 2 is way more fluid, I think.
Oh, absolutely. It is
Yeah.
so fast paced. Everything's so smooth. And all of
Mhm.
the systems just like click
Yeah.
super well together.
Yeah.
and
And it's real flashy
really-
too.
It's a great feeling game to play, and it feels so great when you're able to like block and counter and reflect and like abuse your enemies, which the bosses are really the only ones that do that. I feel like one of the bigger
that
problems-
should be on the back of Kingdom Hearts 3. Abuse your enemies.
oh no.
yeah.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
Abuse him.
Yeah, I mean, with the regular enemies, they don't just stand there, but they're pretty easy to take out a lot of the time, unless they like gang up on you, which does happen quite a bit in the later parts of the game.
Yeah.
They just throw a ton of these at you at once, and you have to manage them all.
hmm
But no, it's just a great feeling game. The story it's Kingdom Hearts. I
Yeah.
don't think it's awful. Surprisingly, I was expecting it to be like way worse. or like super confusing. And I mean, I can see it being confusing, but playing them all in order, I feel like it's not that hard to follow, honestly.
Yeah, right.
And there are some characters I do kind of care about, especially in 3. I'm curious about Roxas.
Oh, really?
I'm curious about more Goofy.
No.
Well, I'm curious to see if Goofy will die again.
That goofy death
Died?
scene. Oh
He
my
died?
god, that goofy death scene is amazing.
What?
How do you
Wait,
kill
Kyle,
him?
have you played Kingdom Hearts?
No,
Wait,
but
you said you didn't. Never mind.
yeah, no, I wish I want to. Like, Kingdom Hearts 3 makes me want to play Kingdom Hearts so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if starting at 3 would be a horrible idea.
It almost definitely will be.
Oh,
I
but it
mean,
looks good.
I think you could do it and just kind of ignore the story, but
Yeah. Because like I know after Kingdom Hearts 2, there's like so much other lore out there.
Yeah.
Like
Mobile games.
yeah, like even if you played 1 and 2, from what I understand, 3 would be confusing because there's so much in between that you have to like.
No, seriously,
up on.
like there is this part, or there's like a whole chunk of lore that you can only get through a Kingdom Hearts mobile game, and apparently it like actually ties up a bunch of loose ends.
I don't.
It's
That
like
sucks.
nobody's gonna see
I don't
this.
think so. I think what I heard
Really?
is that the stuff that's happening in the mobile game isn't going to affect 3 as much as it is. It's just like whatever comes after 3 might be affected by what they're setting up now, or it's kind of like
Yeah.
a hint.
Yeah. Like
But-
the mobile game, I heard just like I think there was some questions, like Earth by Sleep or DDD or something like that,
This one,
and the mobile game kind of like filled you in on some of the loose ends. I don't know. I could be wrong about that though. I don't think like I'll be honest. I don't play Kingdom Hearts for the story at all.
no.
Like, I don't know what the hell is going on in any of those games, dude. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, Maleficent is bad in the first one.
Yeah.
She's the villain. Okay, so my goal is to be Sora, whoop up on these Heartless, and kill Maleficent.
Yeah. I mean,
And
you
it
could
happens after about 50 tries because that boss fight is too damn hard.
Yeah. I mean, I don't play it for the story, but I kind of find it enjoyable in like a mid 2000s angsty kind of way. It's like
Yep,
there's
yep.
no, I don't know what the right word is, but it's so sincere about it that it's kind of endearing.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like borderline cringy, but it doesn't quite hit that mark. It is endearing. There's something about it that I don't know. Kingdom Hearts is fascinating to me.
It's so bizarre. Exactly.
It's so weird.
Very fascinating. I mean, not even the fact that it's like a crossover between Square Enix and Disney, but it's
It's
got
so
this
weird.
story behind it. This giant, like, completely original, completely nonsense story that, and like Disney stamps on it. This is like the biggest Disney crossover thing there is.
It's just
Yeah.
something about seeing Goofy like next to anime people that it rubs me the right way.
Kyler. I don't know if you know this, dude. I don't know if you know this,
Hit me.
but Kingdom Hearts 3 Toy Story World is canon in the Toy Story
No.
universe.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Wait, what
Yeah.
about the Monsters Inc. Because like I'm looking at a trailer right now and like, okay, so I dig the designs of Kingdom Hearts or whatever, but this monster Sora, I don't know how I
Does
feel
not
about
look,
this.
does not look good.
Do you
Does
think
not
the
look
story-
good.
He
Do
looks
you think in
like,
Toy Story 4 they're gonna make references to what happened in Kingdom Hearts
I
3?
hope so.
I
dude,
hope
they
so.
better. There better be a Sora action figure on the floor or something.
Oh, well, that could happen. I could
Oh
see
yeah,
that.
I think that could happen actually.
But
Oh my
I don't
god,
know.
yes.
They haven't said anything about the story of the Monsters Inc. world. Although I have a feeling this actually takes place after the original movie, just because there's that.
Yeah, that
scene,
would make sense.
There's
Yeah, that
that
does make
scene where
sense.
they're in the door chamber or wherever all the doors fall down, and it's got
Mhm.
like all the party decorations that were at the end of the original Monsters Inc.
Oh wow.
And there's the fact that Boo isn't in her monster costume, so
Mm.
Oh yeah.
that's my speculation anyway. That and there really is
Jeez,
no
the
way.
attention to detail.
I
yeah.
know. Oh my god, this game, Kingdom Hearts 3, looks incredible.
Oh,
It really does.
Lord, yes.
Like the Toy Story part in particular looks like just like Toy Story 3, like the visuals.
Mhm.
Exactly.
The
I
lighting.
think the best thing that I want to say the best thing I've ever seen in a video game I saw in that trailer, and that was Ariel.
Oh yeah.
What the heck, dude? What magic are they working over there at Square Enix?
Like Ariel
Dude.
from Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
Yes,
I haven't
she's
seen
a
it.
summon.
she's gonna
And
be a
it's like-
summon. in-
Yeah, it's like her in like
Oh.
water.
Whoa.
Oh my god, it looks insane.
There-
Like my mouth just dropped when I saw. I was like, "What the heck?"
There was there was a Little Mermaid world in some of the previous ones. Infamous in
Awful.
the second one, it was like the rhythm minigame one.
Oh
that I didn't
god.
really bother with.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
in this one, I think she's just a summon, which is good because
Hope
that's
so.
always one of my least favorite worlds.
Yeah, the Ursula fight is good though. I like that
So-
fight.
I mean, it's,
So
it's
what-
all right. I think I just remember being really irritated by it.
Oh yeah, because you had to use like there was a specific skill that you really had to have in order for it to be
Yeah,
easy.
no, there was a one of the underwater skills where you had to like swim really fast behind her head.
Yeah, right.
But I think what made me really hate it was that she kept saying like "very tasty" over and over and over. Again.
Very tasty.
Now
What?
that should be on the back of Kingdom Hearts 3. Very
Yeah.
tasty.
Very tasty. There's gonna be a Wreck-It Ralph Sugar Rush world. I guarantee it.
I can see that. I can see
very,
that.
Very tasty.
So you
Very
think they're gonna
tasty.
do the Marvel / Star Wars world because of Disney
No.
now, or
No.
I don't think so. Not
Yeah,
this
me neither.
game.
yeah?
But you know what? You know what I'm curious about is because EA has the Star Wars license. I wonder if even if they
Hmm.
wanted to do it, could they do it?
Interesting.
That is
Yeah.
interesting. I think Disney would have the last say though.
Probably. I mean, this isn't
Probably.
being sold as a Star Wars game, which might make it like an exception. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I
Because
don't
like
know how
Disney
big
and
that-
Disney Infinity had all those characters in it, like Marvel, all that stuff, no problem.
was that,
So
was that before the deal happened?
I don't know, to be honest.
Let me
Kingdom
check.
Hearts 3, a Star Wars story.
yeah,
That's what they'll have to call
Hearts
Kingdom Hearts
is
3.
Canon in Star
Yeah,
Wars.
it's-
Imagine that.
Oh my god. You just tear all the pages out of Star Wars canon that you built up with the books and the games, and then you add new pages, and one of them is Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
That would
Did
be
you know that Darth Vader was best friends with Xehanort?
Kingdom Hearts
That's-
3 is actually just a Han Solo movie in disguise.
Ooh,
Oh wow.
maybe that I'm gonna see it.
I think you blew it
Solo
wide
showed
open.
up at the end.
Oh yeah, I got him.
So Kyler, are you playing anything right now? What are you doing over there?
The only thing I've been playing is Rhythm Heaven on the DS.
Whoa!
Oh, hey!
Huh.
Yeah. Really? Oh, it's so good. I love rhythm games, so
Mm-hmm.
Rhythm Heaven is phenomenal. However, I think the DS one is actually my least favorite of all the ones that I've played.
yeah, I can see that. My favorite, I think, is the Wii one.
Oh, the Wii one is incredible.
Yeah, Wii one is so good.
Is it actual songs or is it
It's
like?
it's
It's
like-
both.
it's not like actual like licensed songs. It's like original songs, and you kind of like press the button to like a specific beat that it tells you. And there's a lot of like visual cues. It's the
Mm-hmm.
kind of rhythm game that like you could even play it like deaf. I know a guy who's deaf and he loves Rhythm Heaven.
Yeah, because
like,
That's
see it.
strange. How
Yeah,
does
the
that work? Is
visuals-
it like vibrations or something?
No, like
No.
it's like okay.
It's-
So for example,
it's sound
there's this
cues.
there's this one on the 3DS where this coin like drops, and you have to just
oh
look at
Oh,
the
yeah.
fingers. You can just look at the fingers and then click A or B or whatever, and just like you got to catch the coin perfectly. So it's one of those where like even if you can't hear anything, if you just like look and then kind of understand the mechanics behind the minigame that you're playing, you'll be able to get it without even hearing anything. Obviously, if you are able to hear something, it's infinitely easy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think if you played it, you would understand it immediately. You know?
Yeah.
It's harder to explain than it is to. And I mean, even if you watch a video of it, the thing looks like it's not even a game. It looks like an animation almost.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
favorite minigame is the one where this girl's interviewing the sumo wrestler.
Oh yeah.
It's so silly, but I love it.
hmm
And then you have to like pose for the fans, like at a certain sound cue. Oh, it's so good.
I think one of my favorite ones was in Mega Mix. It was one of the new ones that was in that game, and it was the sumo one.
Yeah.
Like the two sumo.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the one that I thought you were talking about, Kyler. That's the one where like gotta like slam your feet on the ground.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Mega Mix
And then
was I
clap.
think, my game of the year of 2016.
I
Which
bought a Japanese 3DS just to play that game because I didn't know if it was gonna get localized or not.
Oh
And
my
it was
god!
so worth
Why would you
it.
do it so early though?
I mean,
Well,
it came out like
It came out a whole
over
year later.
before. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so I got my Rhythm Heaven fix.
Man, that's dedication. I didn't know
Yeah,
you.
dude. Oh yeah, dude. I love me that Rhythm Tengoku.
I mean, I am waiting with bated breath for Rhythm Heaven or WarioWare on the Switch.
Oh
Warrior,
yeah,
man. It
Those
has to
WarioWare's
happen.
so good.
Those are two of my
WarioWare is the best
favorite
game
Nintendo
ever
franchises.
created.
Yeah, I mean, I know Malik genuinely believes that.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
No.
What the heck? Jonathan said that so sincerely.
I believed it too.
I believed it, man. Gotta leave me on like that. Eject.
That one WarioWare on the Wii U was actually all right.
No, I do.
Smooth
I've
moves?
grown to like Game and Wario quite a bit.
Oh,
I was
Game and
really
Wario.
against it.
Game and
for a
Wario,
long
yeah.
time.
Wait, the one on the Wii U? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Wii U.
Wait,
Wii
it's bad?
It's
I
it's,
think
it's
the
okay.
I think the multiplayer aspect is where it really shines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. That Pictionary one is so fun. Like my
Oh, it's
family
fantastic.
still to this day is
Dude,
like, bust out that Pictionary game.
like, I think that we played that game for like 6 hours, not straight, but just like as a group, playing
Yeah.
the one where you had to like steal the fruit. And
Oh,
then
that one's
you
so
had-
fun.
so interesting. Like it was just it was such a it actually used the gamepad correctly.
I'm also gonna say something controversial too. I actually really like Nintendo Land. Like as a family group game, that Nintendo Land is all right.
Dude, Nintendo Land has
Nintendo
some
Land looked
great,
fun.
like the Metroid world or whatever. The Metroid
Yeah,
game was
yeah.
really fun. The
Yeah,
F-Zero
that's
game
so
was
it's
really
so
fun.
underrated. Like I love the way it controls. Like it's weird, yeah, but once you get used to it, it's pretty fun.
Mhm.
I have Nintendo Land, but I've just not played it that much. I've played it a couple times at a friend's house,
Yeah.
and that's about it. I did like what I played. I just never really gave it the time of day. When I
Yeah.
got my Wii U, I got the basic one, and
Mhm.
I did not buy Nintendo Land with it because I was not going to pay $60 for Nintendo Land.
Smart choice.
Yeah.
I eventually got it from GameStop for like $5 or something.
That was a good option.
It's
They should have.
the presentation of that game.
Oh,
is-
yeah.
is perfect. Like it feels so good, and it's so like visually interesting. Like walking around this amusement park and seeing these IPs being used in an amusement park. It like actually gets me really excited for Universal and how
Yeah.
they make it like.
Oh
that.
yeah.
Man,
Oh,
I
it's gonna be
I
great.
was just thinking earlier how excited I am for Nintendo World, and I
Yeah.
remembered that they're bringing the Tron roller coaster to Disney World again.
Yes.
Oh,
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Was that 2019? I think.
And the only roller coaster I went on when I was in Disney World was a Scooby Doo one, where you kept running into walls and they opened.
There was a,
I like
there was a Scooby Doo one in
Yeah.
Disney World.
Yeah,
Was it Disney World?
Way
Florida?
weird.
California? Or
it was Disney World's Florida.
Are you thinking of Universal?
I gotta
No.
look this up.
There's actually a wow.
I don't think I am. I'm pretty sure I'm not. No.
I don't believe you, Malik.
Wow.
And then there was
I
a
got-
chipmunk there too.
What? Was this some weird fever dream that you had one
Yeah,
day?
but
Or
like,
what?
the chipmunk just high.
Yeah, what's going on?
I was 5 years old and we went to Disney World.
Dude, I don't think that was.
Maybe
Disney
it was
World.
Universal.
Both of you,
I
man.
don't know, man.
All
It
I
was a
can
pretty
find-
frightening time.
I'm looking at pictures of it. It looks really spooky. I wouldn't have ridden that. Nuh-uh.
That's
All,
wild.
all I can find is an 8-minute long Go Animate video of the Scooby Gang goes to Disney World.
Accurate. Accurate.
Wait, you're looking at the Scooby Doo one?
I mean, I looked it up, but I can't find anything. I see that Scooby sometimes walks around Universal. That's it.
Yeah, I
It
don't
must-
think that was Disney World, dude.
Wait, maybe it was in the Universal.
Yeah,
it's
because
probably
I also
Universal,
saw
yes.
Spy Kids 3D there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would do it. That would do it. Now what a
Yeah, that was
combo!
Universal.
The Scooby Doo ride and then afterwards Spy Kids 3D. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it
So,
was a pretty
Malik.
great time, but it was different. What's up?
We've also been playing something else.
Ah, yes.
Something.
You're right.
Something known as Monster Hunter.
Whoa!
World.
No, I was thinking of
Oh,
Roblox.
Barbie.
But
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
No, been playing a lot of Monster Hunter. A little too much.
Wow. What a game.
Yes.
Everything
It's-
about this game is like, besides Nergigante, is perfect. Like it's everything. It's so good.
It's a really great love-hate relationship
Uh-huh.
where you feel so much more love for the game and you have these moments of hate and that just makes you love it that much more.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm getting so angry over this, and so it's a testament to how much I'm like actually invested in this game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Ah.
definitely. And it
It's
makes
so
the
good.
hunts that much more interesting. It has like a risk to it. If you fail, you feel such defeat.
Yeah, it, like,
And you
like
know that
actually
someone else
feels
could do
bad.
it, so you're just like, oh my god, how did I fail that?
Yeah, it actually feels like real bad when you die, and you're like, oh my gosh, I was this close to killing this monster.
Oh my god, especially if something wipes you out like two people at the same time, you had two continues left.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you gonna do that to me? How can the game just do this? This
And
should be
yeah,
illegal.
Yeah, you can't get mad at the other person because it happened to you too. It's
The thing I
yeah, go for
I
it.
was,
Go for
yeah, I
it.
was gonna say the thing I equally love and hate about what little I played of the Monster Hunter is that time limit. There's something about that time limit.
Oh yeah, it scares you.
Yeah,
It's
it-
frustrating, especially if you're fighting
Rules.
something for the first time, you don't know how like strong
Yes.
it is.
yeah.
And then
Or
you
you can't
realize
even
you
find it?
underestimated it.
It's weird too because the way like it sounds so odd, but the way I perceive time in that game is so strange. It's like I could be fighting this monster like in real time for 25 minutes, but in my head I'm like, oh my god, it's been like 40 minutes or something.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it
I
feels
can see
like.
that. It's like,
I
how
gotta
was
hurry
that
this
20
up.
minutes?
Yeah,
That's what I ask
no.
myself, like almost every time. It's like, how the hell was that 20 minutes? It felt like 50.
Yeah,
It
dude.
felt like I was about to run
I
out.
know. I was like, oh no, clock's about to go down, and it's like I put like 25 minutes. I was halfway through the monster fight. The thing with this game that I think is so good is the progression. And I know we were talking about this, Malik, earlier while we were playing, but you can see it. Like you can actually see the progression happening.
And the
And
world
that's-
progresses with you.
Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't even notice that. How what was it?
I mean, Fiverr Bro has better equipment.
Oh yeah, dude, Fiverr Bro. Yeah, right. How like
house
the
goes
hub
up.
world, like changes with you, and like as you gear up, everybody else gears up as well, and it feels so good. Like there's something so satisfying about it.
Yeah, like a lot of games don't do that. I don't see that a lot anymore.
Mhm.
Where you just start from zero, and you really have a lot to climb.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
it's not easy to climb it either. And your housing gets better.
yes. Oh,
The
dude, the
things you have
final
access
house
to
is
gets better.
so awesome.
Even
I love it.
the animation for food changes, which is amazing.
What?
And it looks
Yes.
so delectable. It's
No
awesome.
way.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Dude, when I first saw that animation of the cats, the palicos cooking
Oh,
food,
it's so good.
that just warmed my heart.
That's another thing.
Dude.
Exactly. That game is so jolly. Like it's so just the
It
vibes.
gets better. That's what's
Yes,
cooler.
It gets better.
I
dude.
love hub worlds in games, and like
Mhm.
whenever I was playing Monster Hunter for the first time, just the music and just like exploring that hub
Yes.
area,
Yes.
I could.
And
It was awesome.
Poogie.
And Poogie.
Oh,
Dude,
I got
The
Poogie.
first time Malik, like I had no idea Poogie was there, and then I just hear Malik like go oh, and I was like, what the hell? Like Malik is doing this. Malik, like what's going on? He's like, oh, I'm like cradling this pig in my arms.
I heard all these good things about Pookie, so when I went up to go pet him, he broke my rib cage. I was like, what? Pookie,
He
why?
is the eldest.
Yeah, it's
Dragons.
canon. We made it canon that Poogie
Oh,
is.
no.
You know,
I believe it.
Yeah, we live in his mercy.
yeah.
Is
We live
Pookie
at
just
his
Peppa
mercy.
Pig?
What?
Is Poogie just Peppa Pig?
Yeah.
Prequel to Peppa Pig?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan, you played Monster Hunter World for a brief hour or two. What do you think
Yeah,
of
a
it?
brief 2 hours. You see, my thing is like, I don't know. It's like I need to be in like the right mindset and the right
Mhm.
mood.
Yeah.
And it came at a time where,
Yeah.
and I'm still kind of in this where I just don't
Yeah.
really feel like playing anything. And I think Kingdom Hearts kind of broke it. But now it's like after I'm done with Kingdom Hearts, I kind of just want to play more RPGs. And I know I got
That
to
is
get
an
back into it.
RPG.
Well, is I don't know. I don't know if I would
Yeah.
call it.
I don't know if I would call it an RPG. Yeah, it's definitely not a traditional RPG, but
Definitely not a traditional one, but there's definitely like what you
The
have
same-
equipped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely
Armors
there's
affect
definitely
you, the
elements,
like
stats.
stats and stuff.
Yeah.
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 I think I will go back to that first just to see if it clicks with me this time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do want to get into it. I mean, I bought the game. I even
Yeah.
bought the online, which I said I would never do, but you wanted me
Yeah.
to play this so bad that I bought 3
Dude,
months.
I have
can't
I
just
have
let that
86 hours in this game.
Jeez.
86 hours.
I've got
Yeah.
48, but I haven't played that much. No, I have 56. Never mind. There we go.
It's so good. I've never dude, to put this in perspective, okay? In 14 more hours, I will have played this game for 25% of the time that I played PUBG in its entirety.
Oh man. Wait, what is the longest amount of hours you've ever put into a game?
Destiny 1,
Oh no,
Okay.
how many?
For me,
1,000.
Oh!
Jesus Christ. I mean, honestly, I'm probably close with Warcraft 3. I just haven't measured it because there was
Mhm.
nothing tracking it. But
That's a
like, I played a lot of that shit. There's
Yeah,
just so many
1,000.
maps.
Oof.
that is a
Yeah.
good question. I mean, I want to say it's probably a Smash Brothers of some kind, but I can't say for sure. I know
Yeah.
if I checked my 3DS, I think my most played game is Animal Crossing New Leaf. But even
Oh,
then,
yeah, Animal Crossing is my number 3 now. I had 326 hours in Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Oh
Alright,
yeah,
since we're
I
on the
think I got that
subject.
much too.
Oh yeah, Kyler, what's yours?
Oh god. Well, in terms of game clock hours, and this is very disgusting. It's actually Persona 4 Golden. I have
Mhm.
450 hours in it
Jeez.
because
Oh my God.
I was trying to get the platinum trophy.
Oh no,
And,
you didn't get it?
Well, I got it.
Okay, you
Just
got it,
one
you got it.
trophy. Yeah, I got
Okay,
it after the
okay,
fourth
okay.
playthrough. But dude, this one trophy sucks because it's like it's basically random. Because there's this like in the Persona games, you have like a character that cheers you on while you're battling. Like, yeah, good job.
Mhm.
You have to hear every single one of the lines that they can say, and they're very
Oh my
specific.
god.
Yeah, so I was like, dude, this what? So I just kept playing and playing until I got the trophy. And I was like, thank
That's
God.
awful.
That
It
is-
was a
yeah, that's pretty
nightmare.
fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
So,
I-
go for it.
no,
What?
yeah, no, this is just something that just hit me. Is I think I've, as weird as it is, Danganronpa 2 might be one of my most played
Ah.
games because I've played that game 2 times, and it's
Really?
about 40 hours each time, give or take.
Yeah.
That's like 80 hours in a
Wow.
visual novel.
Well, how much are
Jeez.
you on Xenoblade 2?
Xenoblade 2, at least 70. I got to get
Yeah,
back
exactly.
to that too.
Oh, I need to play
No.
Xenoblade 2 so bad.
Oh, it's fantastic. That was, even though I haven't finished it, I think that's the best thing overall that I've
Okay.
played.
Well, since we're on the subject of time, what's the longest you guys have played a game like straight? Like I'm talking,
Oh no.
you got water, you sat down, you had to go to the bathroom, you went quick to piss, and you came back.
Oh, I know
You
this
didn't
one.
stop.
Huh. Interesting.
I know this one. This
Ooh.
for me, it's Virtue's Last Reward. I remember playing that
Oh.
game.
Uh-huh.
I woke up, played it, then I went to sleep. I had my 3DS with me. I carried it everywhere with me, nonstop playing it. I did other stuff in the background
Yeah.
Good
while I
question.
was playing Virtue's
Nice.
Last Reward. 15 something like that hour
What is it
straight.
about?
It's an escape room.
It's an escape room visual novel. It's a sequel to Zero Escape. I think I've told you about 999.
Maybe.
It's the sequel to that game, and I think I'm gonna shill for the Nonary games available now on PS4 via
We're sponsored,
PC.
Thanks for
sponsored by NIS.
Yeah. Now Axis.
That's
But,
the same thing, you know.
I haven't even bought that, but I'm. It's on my list because I haven't played those games in a while. But I've played the original versions of them, and they are fantastic.
Oh
This
yeah.
is a good
I-
question.
Zero Time Dilemma kind of disappointed me, sadly.
I haven't
Yeah.
played it yet. I love 999 and Virtue's Last Reward, and I've been sleeping on the third game, so I don't know. I've heard mixed things about it.
I don't know. I don't know if you should play it or not. It's kind of.
That's what I've been hearing. Yeah, I still want to play because I'm curious, but it won't be for a while.
It's not completely terribly trash. I think some people make it out to be like the biggest mistake
Yeah.
I've ever played. I wouldn't go that far, but it really dropped the ball, I think.
All
That's a
right, to
bummer.
answer your question, Malik,
Yeah.
it's a toss-up between Monster Hunter World and Bloodborne.
Oh,
Okay.
Monster Hunter World the Saturday after it came out, I played for 13 hours straight. And Bloodborne, me, my friend Jackson, and our friend Ryan, we would like go over to each other's houses and play Bloodborne all night. I think we played it for close to 13, 14 hours. Just
dude, I have a
straight.
very similar story, except with Dark Souls 2. Like
Yeah.
me and my friends loved Dark Souls 1. We were so hyped for Dark Souls 2 that we went to the midnight launch. Then we went straight over to my friend's house. We
Mhm.
played it all night long. Then we
Yeah,
invited
dude.
more people over, and then we played it like all the next day, like no sleeping.
That's what we do with Souls games.
It
Like-
was. I will never forget it. It was awesome,
Yeah.
except for the part where Dark
Always.
Souls 2 was disappointing.
Insane.
Always good moments.
Oh,
Always good
yeah.
moments. All right.
Wow.
So
All right.
that was a pretty big
I mean-
chunk. Oh yeah, Malik. Wait.
I have-
What's
I
your
have
answer?
3 games I can go through. So the third is Witcher 3. I
Oh,
played
wow,
that for
really?
at least like 16 hours straight.
God damn.
Yeah,
That's
I
your
was
third?
I was so focused on
That's
the
your
game
third.
with external sources, but I was definitely focused on the game,
Wow.
and I was playing it so much. Like I was crazy for that story, and I was just not the main story, but like the side quests, just like
Yeah.
reel you in.
Yeah.
And there's just so much to them, and you're just walking around. It's like somebody needs help. Some person's like, "Hey, fuck you, want to fight?" It's so fun.
Yeah, I love the gameplay loop in The Witcher 3. It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. You just get stuck there. You just keep wanting more and more. But once you get out of it, you're kind of like, it's hard to step back in.
Exactly. That's
Ooh.
exactly what happened to
I
me.
might also add Prey onto
Ooh.
the list. I played
Okay.
Prey for like 12 hours straight one day. All right, continue.
Damn.
Sorry.
Oh yeah. Okay. Second, Tony Hawk's Underground. When I was I'd say probably 10 years old. When it come out, like 2000, 2004, 2005? No, probably
That sounds about right.
I think
2004.
2003 or 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think 3 even.
Yeah, it's
What was
close
it,
to around
Underground?
there. But I had it on Xbox, and I played it for about 20 hours.
Yeah, something similar, except with American Wasteland. Like I never played the Underground games, but I was so excited for Wasteland for whatever reason. I
Underground was
guess it's-
2003.
Oh dang, that long ago?
Yeah, 15
Because-
years ago.
Ooh.
Oh man, it was
Oh.
amazing. Like I played so much of that. I beat the game that night. I was still a kid, so I was doing a lot of like just tricksing around. But it was just so much fun.
Oh, Uncharted 3 is another one.
Huh.
I think
I beat that whole campaign in
For
2
me,
saves.
yeah. For me, it was The Last of Us. I beat it like the same day I got it.
Yeah. Last of Us is awesome.
14, 15 hours.
Yeah,
I think
All right,
I-
the final
I
one,
can-
so we can
Oh.
move on.
yeah.
All right, one more.
Sorry, John. We'll get
So-
It's okay.
Okay,
Try to beat
I
20
got
hours.
Skyrim and
Oh.
okay, let me tell you, I had to wait for this game to install for. I had to wait for it to download on 30 kilobytes. I was waiting around an
30
entire day.
kilobytes?
30 kilobytes a second.
Oh no.
And I was waiting around. It was killing me. I stayed up the whole time. And I waited.
No.
And I watched. And I watched
You
TV
slept
and I
next to
kept
the loading
bouncing
bar?
back, at least like every 20 minutes. And once it was done, I played that game for 26 hours straight.
Oh,
That,
Oh my
oh
God.
wow. That's
Malik.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Did you help, Malik? It's not too late.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It was.
Wow.
It was definitely a great time. That's what's not
Jonathan,
too
what
crazy
were you
for
gonna say?
Skyrim.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say that pretty much any visual novel, as long as it hooks me, it becomes my life until I finish it.
Yeah, Danganronpa 3, when I like jumped back into that game, I remember even you saying, I'm surprised that you got this far. It was like day out.
Yeah.
And I started, just put my blanket like over my shoulders, headphones on, I was in. And then I kind of sit back and it's nighttime outside. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
okay. All right.
Very
That's
accurate.
Mhm.
What a game that Danganronpa V3
Oh,
is.
Danganronpa V3. Kyler, get on it.
Oh, I need
Okay.
you, boy. I'm in the last,
Get on it.
very into Danganronpa 2, so we're getting there.
Get on.
Oh,
Get on. All right.
Danganronpa 2 is legitimately one of my favorite games ever. Like,
Oh, it's phenomenal.
I don't
Yeah.
have like a
Oh,
top
yeah.
list, but I'm pretty sure I would crack it if I ever made one.
I think
Very curious to see
I
where it
think
goes.
V3 would make my top list over, or my list over 2.
I
But
don't
that's
know. Yeah,
that's a discussion for another day.
yeah. Given enough time away, I mean, I liked Danganronpa 2 a lot when it came out, but it wasn't
Mhm.
until like the years that followed when I would keep thinking about it that
Yeah.
I was like, man, that game was so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe okay. I'll tell you this right now, Tyler. When you finish V3, we'll come back. Us or everybody that's played it, we'll get back and we'll talk about it.
Oh, yeah. I'm so
Because
down
you'll
for
want
that.
to. You'll want to talk about this game.
That was me
It's-
after I beat 999 and Virtue's Last Reward. I was like, what the hell is happening?
Mhm.
I was like, I need to talk to somebody about this, but nobody plays these games.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the club.
Oh, boy.
Well,
All right,
Brian, you
so-
still got to play them, and so
Oh,
do you.
yeah, I know. So now that we've gotten over what we've been playing and also what we have played, got a little sidetracked, but hey, that's going to happen,
It's all right.
especially with us. Let's go person by person and like talk about how we started playing games and like the big moments, like your aha moments. We're like, oh wow, like this is. I'm gonna like play games forever, never.
Mhm.
So we'll start off with Kyler.
Oh, boy. For me, it was, dude, I've been playing games since I was like at least 4 or 5. Because I grew up and I used to watch my dad. He had a PlayStation
Step back
1.
real fast. I'll be right back.
Okay.
We had a PS1. That was the console I grew up with, and I used to watch him play games all the time. Like we had that PS1 Spider-Man game, and then we had Siphon Filter,
Oh.
Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, Mad
Dude.
Evil,
Metal Gear
Ape
Solid
Escape,
is a-
Spyro, Crash Bandicoot. We had,
Yes.
and then I just had like stacks and stacks of like demo discs. Like I don't know where the hell they came from, but we had so many demo discs. So my childhood console until I was like 8, I think, was the PS1. So the first game
Okay,
I
tell
ever
me
played
before-
was
Before you move on, when you're on the
yeah.
PS1, did you have Medieval?
no, I only had the demo to
Ah.
Medieval.
Yes.
But it was
Okay, I had the demo
spooky.
too. I didn't have the full game.
Yeah, same. It spooked me. I was scared of it. I would have to like
Oh,
close
man.
my eyes and like peek through just to look at it because I was so scared. And there was this level in Ape Escape where you go inside of this T-Rex's body.
Mhm.
It's so disgusting in there. Like it's undulating and the music is so gross.
Ugh.
Every time, like I didn't have a memory card, so every time I got to that area, I would have to like give the controller to my dad and have him beat it for me. The music in that section is so disgusting. It's like,
The music of Ape Escape is phenomenal.
and then then I got a PS2
It is
for
great.
Christmas a few years after it came out, and I didn't have too many games for it or a memory card either. But I got Spider-Man the movie game with it, the first one, and then we had my cousin sent us a box of games they didn't play anymore, and it was Ratchet and Clank, like all of them, 1, 2,
Oh,
3.
yes.
Then it had Sly Cooper 1 and 2, and then we had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, which I
I'm
played
too
the
old for
death
these
out of.
kid games.
Yeah, right. I played those to death, and then I don't know. There was never really a point where I had like got tired of games, I guess.
Hmm.
But yeah. I also had Devil May Cry, and I remember this is a weird story. In middle school, I had a PSP, and I really wanted to play Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. And my
Oh,
friend in gym class, he had that game, so and he really wanted to play Devil May Cry 2. So I goofed him. In Devil May Cry 2, there's 2 discs, and they each have like different
no!
stories on them. Yes. So I gave him the garbage part. Well, Devil May Cry 2 in general is garbage, but I gave him
yeah.
I gave him disc 2, and I got Liberty City Stories for the PSP basically for free.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Jackass.
I know, but it's so worth it. Oh, yeah, suck it, Jonathan. His name was Jonathan.
Oh,
Suck it. It was
Yeah,
you all
suck
along.
it. Oh yeah, but yeah, then I got a PS3 for Christmas one year. Wasn't expecting it, like because it was so hella expensive, and my stepmom got it for us.
was
Yeah.
this
And me and my sister were like blown away. We're like, what? No way, a PS3.
was this back
Holy
in
shit.
2006?
This was 2009, a few years
That's
after
when
it
I
came
got
out.
mine. That's when I got mine.
I got it bundled with like it was the 40 gig version bundled with like Spider-Man 3 on Blu-ray, I think.
Oh, wow.
And
That's old. That's one of the oldest ones. It's one of the
yeah,
first ones they had.
yeah, and we got it, but we didn't have any games for it. But I remember just being blown away that the controller was wireless. So
Yeah.
I ran into the bathroom and I peeked my head out and I was like, "Is it working? I'm in the bathroom." And they're like, "Yeah, it's totally working." I'm like, "Oh, this is the best ever."
Yeah.
So,
Oh my god.
yeah, I
Talking about
begged,
gifts. Okay. Just one interruption.
yeah.
Have you guys ever gotten a present from your parents where it was like a game? You like this Christmas, like okay, one Christmas you
I
actually
swear we
asked for
didn't.
something. You ask for a game,
Yes.
and you get a different one, and you think like, oh, this is gonna be like crap. They got the wrong one, or they got a game for me that I didn't really want. You pretend it's nice, and you go on, and you actually find out you enjoy it way more than the game.
Yes, I do
Yes.
actually.
Yes, I do. Kyler, you go
Oh
first.
my god.
Okay, mine. This is a really obscure game that I've like never heard anybody talk about. But for my birthday one year, my aunt got me like it was just some random PS1 game that was on sale or something. But it was called Bombing Islands, I think, or Bomber Islands. You play as this little clown boy. You're trapped on an island, and you have to set these bombs down to like blow the island up.
Mhm.
It is
Uh-huh.
so weird.
Is it
But I was like-
Bomberman?
Very similar Bomberman. It's called the Bombing Islands. This game is so weird. But I was like, what is this garbage? But like eventually I came to love it. But I haven't thought about this game literally in years. Like I haven't thought about this game in like 10 years except for right now. And now I'm having like all this nostalgia just flooding into my body.
Man, yeah, mine was Battlefield Bad Company 2.
Ooh.
Okay.
Battlefield 3 was coming out soon.
Mhm.
And I was like, I was just always talking about Battlefield 3 and how much I wanted it.
Yeah.
And then I think my mom picked up on that, and so for my birthday, the year that Battlefield 3 came out, she went and picked up Battlefield Bad Company 2, which was a game I had never heard of at the time. So it was 2000. When did Battlefield Bad Company 2 come out? 2009?
That sounds about right.
I know
2010 maybe?
2009? Yeah, 2010
Battlefield
probably.
3,
That sounds
Battlefield
about right.
3 came out in 2011.
Yes, 2010. Yep. So I got the game. in 2011 then.
Yeah.
And so I like run downstairs, open up my birthday gift, and it's Battlefield Bad Company 2, and I was like really disappointed. I'm like, man, I wanted Battlefield 3, even though it hadn't come out yet. I don't know, my mind, I was like, oh man, the new one's coming out. So now I got this one. Dude, I popped in Battlefield Bad Company 2. I played this story. Oh, it was hilarious. It was like Battlefield Bad Company 2 is so good because it's this group of soldiers that are just awful at their jobs, but
Yep.
it's all luck. Like everything that they do, they get out of it by like it's just so everything they do, they just get so lucky. And
Yeah,
Yep.
that story was pretty fun. I remember playing it.
I find it so hilarious. Like we don't ever get that really. We don't ever get to play as people that are like so stupid and dumb. That just
The bumbling
Yeah, it
goofballs.
was amazing because like they fight through this scenarios like the Americans versus
Yes.
all the Soviets, like every single Soviet
yeah.
is attacking them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like a bunch of like shit's blowing up, and you're just 4 guys.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you're
They just took out
4
an army.
guys.
I really
yeah,
like that game.
They take out a whole army because of how lucky they are and how awful at the job they are, and it's great. I
never
love this so much.
realized
I
it had
played
a
the
story
online.
like that.
Yeah, dude, the story is just bonkers. I played
It's
the
really
online
fun.
so much, and I was so glad that I got it. So that's one of them. That's one of them. Another good question.
Yeah.
I can't.
Obviously, you have one if you.
Jonathan, anything for
Yes.
you?
I can't think of any that I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I'm bad at remembering things. I'm sure I've gotten many games that I didn't ask for, but I feel like at some point I would just ask for something, and it was always just like one thing. And it's like I need this one thing, and they were like, "Got it," and they would get it, and that would be that. I know
Mhm.
for
Alright.
Christmas, like my first couple of Christmases when I wasn't really asking for games, I would usually just get licensed stuff, and that's gonna play into my story about how I got
Yeah.
into gaming.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I
Alright,
can
yeah.
remember. I remember one time. I don't even know if I asked for this or not, but I remember I wanted Mario Strikers Charged for the Wii. I don't know if I asked for that or not, but I got it, and I really
Mhm.
love that game. So maybe that.
Nice.
Actually,
So-
that's pretty cool. That isn't mine, but that actually reminds me that I got it unwarranted as well, and I like the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
asked the
actually didn't know what the
question,
hell I was
what's-
getting, but I got it, and it was fun.
Criminals.
You asked the
But
question,
no,
what's
for my
your answer?
Christmas one, it's so for the longest time when Fallout 3 first came out in like 2007,
Mhm.
I already wanted it. I saw
Yeah.
the trailer, and by that time I was already like pirating stuff, so I got it, and I was running out on my PC at like 11 to 15 frames. It was not fun. It was fun. I still played it,
Uh-huh.
but it wasn't as much fun as it could be.
Had to
So,
make do with what you
around-
had.
Exactly. So I think 2009 come around, I was trying to get it on my PS3. So I asked my mom if I can get it for Christmas, and I was totally expecting it. She said she got it.
Oh,
But But the thing is, when Christmas came around, I guess she like kind of researched this,
Oh no.
but she thought it was too violent probably. But she said no, she couldn't find it anymore, so she got me Borderlands,
yeah.
I had no clue what Borderlands was.
Right, that's good.
and I was
Huh.
like, you know, I of course I wasn't a bad kid, so I was like pretending, and she could see through. She was like, oh, I know it's not what you wanted, but it's nice. Like,
Aw.
no, it's a nice game. I got it, and I was hooked.
Dude, the game is so good.
But the thing is, she had no clue how violent it was either.
Yeah.
So it was not, it's not any
It's all in
different.
distill shading. It's all in distill shading.
Yeah.
Yep.
Looks like a cartoon, so it must be a cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. What's this
Don't
weird?
worry.
What's this weird M for on the?
No, that's the thing though. In
Left-
Germany, it's for 16-year-olds, which it's blue.
Oh.
It doesn't
Oh,
really
okay.
seem as bad. So because the sign is blue, so she got it.
Peggy 16.
Yeah.
M is 17, so it's really only a year difference. But
Yeah.
M looks a lot more sinister, I think, than a 16.
That is true.
Yeah. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
but
interesting.
I'm
Huh.
glad she got it though, because Fallout 3 turns out in Germany on the PS3 was censored completely. Like
Oh,
body
really?
parts didn't fall off or anything. So
Whoa, really?
yeah, no, it's censored completely. Like you
Huh.
can't. There's no blood either anywhere.
Those sensitive Germans.
Some weird stories about German censorship. I can't think of any off
Yeah.
the top of my head, but I know what happens quite a bit with some games.
Yeah, I've heard
like
that.
Wolfenstein, for example,
Wolfenstein,
the
yeah.
swastikas
Wolfenstein.
are
Oh, yeah.
replaced.
Yep.
I mean, usually if you hear about a censorship story, it's always Germany or Australia.
Yeah, Australia's pretty bad with it.
Oh, Australia for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's either that or it's like some Japanese game got censored on its way to the West. But
Mhm.
Oh,
that's
probably. I
entirely
mean,
other,
Another-
I'm releasing stuff like Rayplay. Jeez.
Another good improv question from Malik. Another good one. So Kyler, where were you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, since I like grew up with PlayStation most of my life, when I was like
Mhm.
16, I decided I wanted to buy a Wii for
Mhm.
whatever reason. I was like, I'm gonna buy a Nintendo console.
That's
So I never had a
strange.
Nintendo console before. Yeah, so I was like, screw it, I'm gonna buy a Wii. So I bought a Wii. It was like the black Wii that was bundled with like Wii and Wii Sports Resort or whatever.
Jonathan, Kyler's 22, by the way.
Yeah, I'm a
Oh.
grandpa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
If, so yeah, I know. In your mind, you were probably like 16. What the heck?
You're like, how long ago?
Right now.
Yeah, and yeah, I didn't buy any games with it though, so I went to the virtual console and I was like, okay, because I got really interested in games. So I was like, I'm gonna buy two of what everybody says are the best games of all time.
Oh,
And it was Zelda: A Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time. And like, even though I knew they were old, so I knew what I was getting into, but instantly, like, dude, something about Ocarina of Time just hooked me, and I was like, instant Zelda fan, like instantaneously. Then I played through Link to the Past, and then Skyward Sword came out, and then I went and bought like a copy of Wind Waker on the GameCube and played it, and then same with Twilight Princess and
Yes.
all that stuff. And I was like, dang, like Nintendo knows where it's at. And then Mario Galaxy and then Metroid Prime, and it just
Mhm.
never ended. And I was like, oh my god, like these games are so good.
Mm-hmm.
And
Metroid
then I knew
Prime
I
is
loved
really
video games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Damn.
exactly, dude.
You know,
And
like
that's the story.
it's amazing that you got into Legend of Zelda so late. It usually doesn't happen to people like that.
Yeah, because
They,
like a
start
lot of
off
people
as
are like,
kids.
I mean, I think
Right,
I
a lot
got
of-
into Zelda relatively late. I want to
Mhm.
say I was 11 or 12 when I.
Yeah,
played
but
Ocarina
like
for the
that's
first time.
16. You know, you're already like a teenager and stuff. You already
Yeah,
have
'cause,
a
like-
nostalgia bank.
right? A lot of people are like, oh, they only like Ocarina of Time and Link to the Past because like they have a nostalgia for it. But I came in from a weird perspective, which I had zero nostalgia for Zelda, nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't know, something about it. Like to that
Yeah.
day, I was just engrossed. Like even though they're all pixely and gross, like just the music and everything
Mhm.
about it, it just sucked me in, and it created this like nice atmosphere that you don't see too much from video games.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So Malik, let's hear
Oh.
your story.
Okay. Mine actually starts out with the Super Nintendo.
Oh
I
wow.
was probably like 4, 5,
Mhm.
around that age, and I started out playing Mortal Kombat 3,
Oh my god.
and
What a
that
zinger!
was
Jonathan,
really
is there any
fun.
way you could like move your mic closer to you?
Sure. Has it been
Okay.
like this the whole time?
No, not the whole time. It just
Okay.
kind of
Not
got
yet,
like
just
this.
now.
Yeah,
Okay. Is this better?
yeah, much
Yeah.
better.
Good.
Yeah, I started out with Mortal Kombat 3. That was really fun. Mortal Kombat 2, and even Mortal Kombat 1 a little bit, but that was more at the arcades. And then after that, or during that same time, I was also playing that Donald Duck game. It's something Shadow,
Oh, I know
Dancing
this.
Shadow.
I know this. I gotta look this up. It's like it's like a. I don't think it's Darkwing Duck.
It's Dark Shadows or something like that. It's something dancing, and then Shadow.
Hold on. Donald and Maui Mallard.
No, is it?
I mean, I see this picture of Donald Duck dressed as a ninja with a blindfold.
Okay, then it is him.
Well, yeah,
Wow,
I'm
okay.
curious to see because I mean you grew up in Germany. I'm curious to see what
Mhm.
the like how much different was there than it was here?
I mean, culturally, I mean, I was still we were still very Americanized because
Yeah.
me and my we were like I was a military brat, so we had on post stuff, and they basically had to get all the stuff from the U.S. And my dad brought a bunch of stuff from the U.S. as well. A lot of years we actually worked on a transformer, so we used up more electricity when we were playing games,
Yeah.
and we had all American stuff. So we
Mhm.
were working through a transformer. But really, it started out with the SNES, and
Yeah.
then after that, Dreamcast.
Really?
A lot
Nice.
of Crazy Taxi.
Oh,
Who
yeah,
Wants to
okay.
Beat Up a Millionaire?
Yeah.
Spawn.
Spawn.
And
Wow.
yeah, Spawn is really good. Spawn, I still have that right here actually. My Dreamcast.
You keep it with you at
Spawn
all
in it.
times.
Yeah, it's my baby. Um, but I have that here. And then after the Dreamcast, I
Wait, you
moved on
actually
to-
have it?
Yeah, I have it here with 2
Oh, dude,
controllers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, your Dreamcast?
Yeah, and my old memory card as well.
Dude, that's
Oh, I think it's
sick.
Spawn. Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I have a Dreamcast too. It's awesome.
It's sick. Yeah, no, Spawn is actually really rare, so I'm happy I have it now.
Oh,
Mhm.
cool.
And of course, I played Sonic Adventure on that too.
Yeah.
Can't forget
Ego,
about
baby.
Sonic Adventure 2.
Mhm.
How could you
And
ever
then-
forget about Sonic Adventure 2?
Yeah, exactly. You can't because the little Chos that you take care of. It was amazing.
Yes.
Oh, best part of the
Chows,
game.
there we
The
go.
little blue guys.
Toes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
little blue
City
boys.
Escape theme.
Oh my god. And then from there, it was PlayStation 1 with Medieval.
Nice.
And
remake coming out this year, or hopefully.
I'm excited for that.
I love Medieval.
Yeah, but just like with Kyler, it was a demo, and I kept replaying the demo. Yeah.
Oh, which
You're
demo
really
did you play?
strong.
Sorry, I missed that, Kyler.
Oh, Medieval.
Oh, wow.
I only
okay.
had the demo to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was just going around. It's like it wasn't a cereal box game, but it was one of those common demos that came out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. On the PS1, I don't remember all that much. Pro Skater, it was really simple from there. And then to the Xbox, that's where I go
Xbox.
through stuff. There was this Kung Fu game. Ugh,
Huh.
it's full of mini games. I can't remember the name, but one other one is Whacked. That made up a lot of time.
Mhm.
Jonathan knows what Whacked is. I
Oh,
told
I
him
know
to get
all
it,
about Whacked.
but
Oh, no.
Jonathan doesn't want a fun game. I swear we would have so
The
much
hell is
fun
Whacked?
playing it. It's amazing.
I need
Look it up.
another Xbox.
Whoa!
controller.
I remember this game.
It's so fun.
Wow. My cousins
Yeah.
had this game.
Yeah, I played a whole lot of Whacked, a whole lot of the Dungeons and Dragons RPG demo,
Huh.
and rewatched a lot of the same Alien trailer. And then from there, my dad got us. Well, he had his computer there. This is going a little bit back in time,
Mhm.
but that's when I got into MMORPGs. My dad was playing EverQuest in front of us,
Oh,
Ooh.
wow, yeah.
and I was just completely fascinated. It's just, you could do so much, and I started up my first account there, and then I finally got my own computer, which was really shitty. I played Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 and
Oh yeah.
Sims.
Were you thinking of
2.
Kung Fu Chaos?
Yes. Oh my god, wait, I have to look up the picture just to make sure.
Oh yeah, I'm
But I'm
looking
pretty
at
sure
it.
it's Kung Fu Chaos.
Yeah. It has like 3 ninjas on the front. One of them's a monkey.
Is there one of them a girl?
Yeah, one of them's a girl in red with fans.
Oh my god. You just solved this puzzle for me. Wait, Kung.
Dude, it was in the whacked images. I was just searching
Yes!
through
Yes! This game is great! Oh my god.
them.
Ugh. Yeah, this and Whack were really great.
Whoa! I'm sorry. I'm on Wikipedia right now looking at Kung Fu Chaos, and you know who
Yeah.
developed this game?
Who?
Ninja Theory.
Holy shit! What?
Whoa.
Before
Really?
before they changed their name to Just Add Monsters, or before they were Ninja Theory, they were called Just Add Monsters.
That's
They
insane.
made Kung Fu Chaos.
That's crazy.
They became Ninja Theory.
Wow.
Weird.
That's crazy.
That's a fun little fact.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, Kung Fu Chaos was something else. And of course, there are a whole bunch of other games, but really just, Tony Hawk's Underground, that made up a lot of it.
Mhm.
So from the
Yup.
Xbox there, and then I got to the PC, started playing strategy games and RPGs and The Sims. And then I tried to get Stubbs the Zombie. This was a really detrimental time. This was a point where I learned that nothing's free. So I got Stubbs the Zombie. We finally bought it. I was watching all these trailers, and it didn't work. It wasn't compatible with
Oh no.
Windows 96. Yeah,
Oh
Same,
my
dude.
god.
it wasn't compatible with Windows 98.
Nice.
It wasn't. It sucked. So after eventually breaking my computer, not on purpose, but
Okay.
I would always turn it off by the power button, and eventually the power button got stuck, and we didn't bother with fixing it. So my
Wow.
computer was replaced one day when my dad was visiting, and at this point, he was getting. I think it was the second time I asked him to get Spawn because it
Mhm.
messed up, and he was like, it was really rare. I didn't understand back then, but it was really hard for him to get that, and I appreciate it. So he got it for me, and he comes over visiting for the first time in a while, and he's like, son, I'm gonna show you something. See, you don't have to buy games. You can just get it from this website.
Whoa!
And he shows me demonoid.com. It's a pirating
Criminals.
website. it was a completely torrenting website. I was like,
Oh my
wow, I can
god.
use your account? He's like, yeah, just get this uTorrent and start downloading here.
Oh,
This is how you
wow.
extract, and this is how you
Holy
install.
shit.
And from there, I kind of just learned on my own and started like puzzling around with those torrents. And
Mhm.
he bred a criminal.
You deserve to be
I
locked
had
up,
heard it.
Louis.
Yeah. Why
Oh,
why
man,
are you
if-
locked up in?
Yeah.
If we were ever charged, like if our ISP ever did anything, I think my mom got emails from our ISP.
Ooh.
If they ever did anything, that would be a lot of money. Let's just say,
Wow.
like, after I was fucking 8 years old, I was getting at least hundreds of gigs every year of games.
Oh.
Oh my god.
And this was back when games were like small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and when I was
Holy
11, like I remember
shit.
deleting, and this was after I deleted a few times before. When I was 11, I remember deleting like 250 gigs.
Oh my god.
But
Jeez.
yeah, I got into a bunch of games after that. Black and White, Spore, Sims 3. That was a really
Spore,
amazing
dude.
time for me. Sims 3, I was like,
Oh,
nobody knew how
Spore.
to install it, and I just found a way to do it.
Mhm.
And yeah, and then a bunch of games from there, just code cracking, keygens. That was all fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, amazing times. And then from there, I moved on to Warcraft 3, and finally got Dead Rising 2. I think that's the point where I started slowing down on the piracy. Because I got Dead Rising 2 twice. Now, I don't know what that did, but after getting Dead Rising 2, I was just like,
You had so much
Sometimes
respect
stop.
for video games now after Dead
Yeah.
Rising 2 came out. You're like, I cannot have
No
that.
more,
I don't
dude.
regret it
conscious-
one bit though. I got every game I wanted, and I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
That was me with my PSP.
Oh,
I totally hacked my PSP.
nice.
It was a
You
good
heard it here
time.
first, folks. Malik is a criminal.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm gonna
it's
call the
gonna be
police on
used
you.
against you.
It's too late.
Yeah,
Can't
this
be undone.
podcast is going to be used, against you.
The court of Sharia law.
Oh man, dude, the amount of strange games. Okay, to add to the growing up and playing games, MMOs. Go onto the Wikipedia, search free online MMOs. Look at any of those games. Tell me
Written
if I've
101.
played it. Yes, I've played that. I have
Oh,
played
dude,
every
yeah.
single.
Everybody play Wizard.
I have played every single MMO on that list.
But Malik,
I'm
did
gonna-
you ask
I'm
your
gonna-
parents
I'm
before?
gonna try this, dude.
Huh?
Did you ask your parents before going online?
No. That's actually
my
a funny
God.
story. Mom
Criminal.
finally, like when I was 8,
Criminal, dude.
I was already on new grounds and everything.
New
so-
groins.
New groins, new grounds. And I was 8 and I was a little curious. And my mom sees I searched girls space Boobs.com with a space in the URL.
That's Malik.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, Flash games, I've scoured the internet for a very long time. And those MMOs I couldn't find anything that really fit.
Okay, I'm gonna try and stump you here, man.
Okay.
I'm on it. Pre-play MMOs. Astro Battle.
Okay, that's a newer one. I've seen it, but that's not anything
2004.
that would be
2004.
Really?
Yes.
I've seen it before. It's like manga-ish.
You're a fraud.
Hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I'm just looking
Try
at this.
another one.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, what is this website?
No, I'm
It's
just
just on
I
the
looked up
Wikipedia,
list
probably.
of 3 massively multiplayer online games. Okay, so let's see. Free play with microtransactions. We'll do that.
Okay.
Atlantica Online.
Yes. It's like a turn-based MMO.
Yeah,
It's actually really interesting.
It is. You know what? This is gonna be a game. We're gonna make this a game one day. Okay, where I'll go through. Malik will be disqualified from this because it'll be too easy. Malik will send me in a couple of MMOs that he played, real obscure ones, and then I'll like go down through a list, and you guys have to tell me which ones Malik played and which ones he didn't.
Ooh,
I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that down. That's a good one.
I like that.
The name escapes me, but there was one MMO he made me play one time, and it was like the saddest game I think I've ever played.
Minions of Mirth.
Yeah,
What?
That's part of my childhood too. I forgot that.
What is
That
that?
was
Mirth?
Minions of Mirth is basically an EverQuest ripoff with a way smaller world, and my dad got it for me because, well, when I was playing it and I invited him, he's like, "Oh yeah, this is like EverQuest."
Shit, this looks so depressing.
So
Yeah.
instead of paying monthly, why did I get you this, son? And it was like a one-time payment, so he tricked me. But the game is actually really fun. It's so small, but it was just such an adventure.
I'm trying to figure out what this one MMO that I
It looks
played is
sad.
called.
Like, it looks sad, but at the same time, it's just that it's such a nostalgic feeling. Like, look at it.
I just see a
It's
picture
like
of a
Dungeon
guy
Runner.
in golden armor frowning, and his name is Chancellor Tulloch.
Yes.
10 out of 10.
Oh.
Wow.
Those NPCs are ridiculous.
I just
Bank on
immediately
it.
started
That's gonna be
crying
a game.
upon seeing that image.
That's going to be a game, gents. Malik's MMOs.
No,
That
what
should- that should
MMO were
be
you
a-
thinking of, Brayden?
I don't know what it's called, man.
What did you do?
Was it RuneScape?
Oh, yep, there it is. No, it was like it was this weird, like steampunky fantasy world.
Mabinogi?
and-
Was it side scroller?
No. And there was this class, this race that I remember playing. And they were like lions, kind of.
Oh, okay. Perfect World 2?
Perfect World 2?
Dude, Malik on point.
Yeah, dude, we gotta oh man. You know what? This should actually be a video series on our channel. You go back and like play and comment.
Oh, I'd be down with that.
Just like old MMOs that are still working. That's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing. Let's see. What was it? Perfect World?
Perfect World or 2. It's either one, but they have lion races and panda.
I see a chipmunk wearing like some weird Asian hat. I don't know how I feel about that. Howdy, guys.
It's not directly steampunk, but it's one of the lion ones.
It's not Perfect World. This was like
steampunk at all.
How did it
It's
look?
like,
it was kind of like cartoony looking. I think it was cell shaded.
it's not
Oh
steampunk,
man.
While you think of this, Malik, let's jump
Yeah.
over to Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan, do it, dude. Let's hear it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Mine's I don't know what my first game is exactly, but I know it was at my aunt's house. She had a Super Nintendo and a Nintendo 64, and it was Super Mario World, Mario All Stars, Donkey Kong Country, the original Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Kirby's Avalanche was one of the big ones that she had. So I've been playing Puyo for a long time, I guess.
Oh wow, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So those are my first few experiences, and I would always play them whenever I would go there. At my own house, though, I think all I had for a while was a PS1 and our own Super Nintendo. But we had like no Super Nintendo games. We had a Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote game, the Mickey Mouse and the Magical Beanstalk, I think, something like that.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
And that's it. We didn't even have Mario. No Mario games for a Super Nintendo. And for the PS1, it was a bunch of edutainment, like
Oh no.
like Mulan's like coloring book or something. Winnie the Pooh and Tigger's like Honey Hunt.
Game of the year that year.
Give it here.
I did have Crash. I had all three Crashes,
There you go.
or not all three. I had the collector's pack or whatever that had Crash 3, Crash Team Racing, and Crash Bash. So I played those a bunch, especially Crash 3 and Team Racing were lovely. I played those for years. And then I remember one Christmas, I actually kind of remember this now that I'm thinking back on it. It was Christmas of 2002, I want to say, that we got a PS2 and a bunch of licensed games like sports, Rugrats, and that's probably it. Like, I remember playing the Rugrats game. I remember playing that on our big TV, and some of my family members are watching me. I vaguely remember them talking about the graphics. I don't know. That might be going crazy.
No, they probably were.
What I really remember the most was playing the demo for Sly Cooper and Ratchet and Clank. And I played those maybe more than anything, but I never got those games. It just never happened.
Wow.
And
Oh
pretty much-
man.
pretty much everything I ever got for the PS2 was sports or licensed game or Crash. Whatever Crash games there were. I played a lot of Wrath of Cortex and Crash Nitro Kart. And I do have a soft spot for Crash Nitro Kart. I think that game is pretty good. Crash
that game's awesome.
Twinsanity. Crash Twinsanity, I think, is great. And
I've
I
always
think
wanted to play more of the Crash games.
Crash
cool.
Twinsanity is really unique,
Mhm.
and
I love the acapella music in that.
oh, it's incredible.
It's phenomenal.
It's a game that I wish got to be actually finished because that game was rushed.
Yep.
Super rushed. There was a lot of content that was supposed to be in that was cut out.
Yeah.
I'm getting sidetracked. I had like basically nothing except the games at my aunt's house and all the trash on my PS2.
Jonathan,
Yeah.
watch out because you might be skipping something.
What do you mean?
Oh, no,
Like,
Malik knows more
I don't know,
about
I'm
you than
feeling-
you know about you.
No, I'm not.
no,
not-
no, it's just like once I'm thinking about it now, it's just like there's so much that I didn't get. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it just feels like there's so much more to go over. So really think about it.
I mean, this is all I remember. I had a Super Nintendo. I used to have a PS1. I guess my parents got rid of that after we got the PS2 because we could play the PS1 games on that. I remember Finding Nemo and SpongeBob Battle for Bikini
Oh,
Bottom is great.
yes!
That's a great game.
The movie one,
So
the movie one
I'll
was
give
great.
that credit. I'll give
Yeah,
that
the
credit.
moving one was very good.
I mean, just a lot of sports games. I had a Splashdown, which they were supposed to be pretty fun. I still have that. I should give that another go sometime.
Splashdown.
Yeah. It was
Oh,
like
the
a-
jet skiing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Splashdown.
Huh.
But I guess I was just never into the sports stuff. I mean, I'm still
Yeah.
not really,
Mhm.
unless it's like extreme sports or motion controlled sports.
But you will be able to say you beat the president of the United States at Madden.
Yeah, I
What?
did.
You will be able to say that
What?
one day.
Someday I will be able to say that.
Just don't ask
anyways.
about it. You'll
Okay.
find out when
All right.
it happens.
Yeah, for the reunion podcast in 20 years.
Yeah. Exactly.
But then I remember one day at school, some classmates were talking about Smash Brothers Melee, and I guess I got the idea in my head of, oh, maybe I should look into a GameCube or something. This was in 2005, so this is like at the end of the GameCube.
Mhm.
And I was on eBay, and there was like a listing for like a GameCube and 2 controllers, a Wavebird. Came with Mario Kart Double Dash and Mario Party 4. And I don't know how much it was. It was less than $100. And I asked my dad, it's like, hey, can I get this? I'm fully expecting a no. But he was like, okay, sure. And he buys it like right then and there.
It's all about the moods. It's all
Yeah,
about the
so-
moods.
Suddenly I have a GameCube. It came in the mail like a week later. And I played a lot of Mario Kart and I played a lot of Mario Party 4. I'm not really super fond of either of those games,
Never.
honestly.
Mario
but-
Party needs to burn.
Mario Party 4,
garbage.
Mario Party 4 is
Mario Party is
legitimately-
really fun. I don't understand you people.
No,
Mario Party is
Well,
trash.
like,
actually,
Yep.
You're supposed to have a healthy relationship with hating the game.
depending
Just like
on-
League or Dokapon Kingdom, it's supposed to make you happy once you hate it.
Depending on
No.
the Mario Party, I like Mario Party, but 4 is not one of those. Mario Party 4 is one of my most hated games ever.
Is that the
The
GameCube
amount,
one?
the amount of rage that game made me
Yeah.
feel, I think, is still unmatched by anything else.
Jesus.
Didn't that one have a microphone that it came with?
7. That was 7.
I remember I had the microphone.
Oh,
for that.
weird.
But anyways, so I had those 2 games, and that's really all I had. And then we went to Target one day, and they had a copy of Melee for $20 or $30. It doesn't really matter. I asked for it, and my dad was like, "Yeah, sure," and he buys it for me. I remember my sister complaining that they bought me a game that was rated T, and I was only like 8 years old at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was acting all smug, and then I got home and played the game. I remember this one moment where like I picked up like a blaster, and I think my mom made a comment about how my dad made a great choice, like sarcastically, because the game had a gun in it.
Oh.
But I just remember that roster. The only characters in that entire roster that I knew was Mario and Pikachu. Everything else was like completely foreign,
Yeah.
completely bizarre. And I think it really sparked an interest to find out more about these characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't really happen on the GameCube. I mean, after Melee, I pretty much only had Mario Party 7, and I mean that's really it. I know I wanted to get Chibi Robo when that first came out, but it didn't happen. I mean, I really just kind of laid dormant again. I just played a lot of Smash Brothers Melee, and then we got the Wii in 2007 for my birthday. After like 2 weeks of calling every single store in like a 10-mile radius,
Oh yeah.
we finally like called a GameStop, and they're like, "Yeah, we got one left." And we got to the mall faster than we have ever gotten there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my parents played like a nasty trick. They told the guy in front of us online to pretend that he bought the last one.
What?
And so,
Whoa.
and so the,
Oh
the,
my
the guy
God.
at the counter said, "Hey, sorry, dude, we just sold the last one," and I almost started crying.
That is
Brutal.
awful.
Brutal.
That's evil.
Yeah,
Who would do that?
it's
His
pretty funny in
parents.
retrospect, but I mean, it didn't last very long. You're like, "No, we're just kidding. Here it is. You got
That's
it."
great.
Just
So I
yanking your
got
chain.
that, and we play, and I think it was really the Wii where I started actually taking gaming pretty seriously, which I know some people would probably say that's funny because it's the Wii, but I had like 30 games for that thing when
Same.
all was said and done before I moved on.
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy, I remember getting that Christmas of 2007, and that just absolutely blew me away. That I think that might be the game where it was like, wow, it's like I should really pay more attention to games.
For sure.
Well, actually, I'm skipping over something because I remember I got an Xbox 360 the year before in 2006, that Christmas, because I really, really wanted to play Viva Pinata, and I
Oh, yeah.
played a lot of Viva Pinata. I played that. I got almost every single achievement in that game, which I don't think I've ever come close to doing. Well, not. There were some games I've gotten a platinum in, but in terms of something new where there was actual effort put in the achievements, it's one of the only ones where I went out of my way to get them, almost all of them.
That was almost me.
Yeah.
Almost.
With rare replay, I was like, oh sweet, I'm gonna play
Oh.
Banjo-Kazooie, and I was like, I'm just gonna start with Viva Pinata. Literally to this day, never touched any of those other games outside of Viva Pinata 1. It's so good.
Viva Pinata is great. It's classic. It's like every time someone says that like Rare never made a good game, after
That's the
being
one.
sold, it's like, and I think they made a couple good games. But the one I would always refer to first is Viva Pinata. I think that's one of the best games they've ever made. Period. Maybe the
Nuts
best.
and
It's
bolts is my favorite.
I honestly like love Nuts and Bolts. That's what I'm about to say next. Is in 2008, I played that game a ton, and I put way too much time into that game. And usually, especially now, the creative type of games where it's all up to you and you build your own stuff doesn't really appeal to me. But I can go back to Nuts and Bolts, and I can spend hours.
Are you
like,
saying Minecraft that doesn't appeal to you?
Yeah.
I mean, not really.
Are you
Yeah, what do you
saying
say something about
Roblox
Minecraft, pal?
Doesn't
Yeah.
appeal to you?
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with Minecraft?
Come on, dude.
Hey,
What is
nothing's
wrong with
wrong
Minecraft?
Are you
What's wrong
dissing
with-
Minecraft?
It's only something wrong with me. That's all.
Oh,
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean that's kind of it. Ever since then, I've just been more and more. I mean, it was kind of gradual after 2007. I think 2010 is when it really hit like the peak, or like that was the moment, because that was the first time I watched an E3, like,
Mhm.
and I followed an E3. I would look at the news the years before, but that was the first year
Same.
that I like actually paid attention, and that's still I think my favorite E3 is Nintendo's 2010 E3.
Yep.
They had Donkey Kong Country Returns, they had Kirby's Epic Yarn, they had GoldenEye for the Wii, and then
Right.
besides all that stuff, they had the 3DS Blowout, and that was a blowout. They announced
Yeah.
like, so many games for that thing. They had Kid Icarus Uprising, which blew me away, and that game is one of my favorites ever.
I agree. It's so underrated to me. A lot of people hate it.
I can understand where the hate comes from, but as someone
Yeah.
who like never had an issue with the controls, it was
Same.
perfect to me. It clicked so
Which game?
hard.
Sorry.
Kid
Icarus
Icarus.
Uprising.
Oh, okay. Uprising.
It
But
came
I
with
mean-
that weird stand.
I never even used the stand.
Me
I played, I
neither.
played worse with the stand.
Same.
But
Wow.
yeah, I mean, ever
Okay.
since then, I mean, I've always been more of a Nintendo guy. I mean, I've always had the PS1 and the PS2. I got a PS3 in 2011, I think. I have a PS4. I mean, I have an Xbox One. I got a lot of
Mhm.
systems, but I think I'm always gonna be a Nintendo guy at heart, just because that's where I've always
Wow.
been.
You're a fanboy. That's
I
what you
am a
Nintendo fanboy confirmed.
That's what you
Honestly,
are. Eject.
I try not to let it get in the way of my real thoughts.
Yeah.
And I mean, right
Wow.
now, I'm really.
I mean,
kind of-
A bit of bias isn't too bad.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
not at all.
I mean,
We got a
right now-
criminal and Nintendo fanboy. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Way to
I
pick
mean-
him, Braden.
I'm sorry.
I mean, right now, I'm kind of like, I'm not really iffy on the Switch, but I feel like I've lost a lot of the hype I had for it.
Oh no.
Not that it's bad at all. I think it's just this year's lineup is kind of like, I don't see myself buying anything.
Yeah, I feel like they have more stuff to announce though. Like, remember when they first announced, like back in what was it, January? They had their like first Switch reveal or whatever, and like their upcoming games looked like completely dead and empty. But, like over the course of the year, they kept like announcing new things and like
I really
surprise
don't-
releasing stuff.
I just
I
want
don't-
Splatoon 3.
I don't think so though about that January thing, because if you look back on it, pretty much their entire year was in that show, at least from Nintendo. The only other game they announced that came out that year was Pokken, and Ubisoft had Mario and Rabbids, but everything else was
Yeah,
there.
that's
I
true.
don't understand. Okay, they could just be playing it safe the whole time, and I'd be fine with that. They could play if they could bring out Tomodachi Life or Tomodachi Life. to
Tomodachi Life.
Wii
I'm
U.
sure
Yeah.
that'll come
Yes.
eventually.
Nintendo's so weird. You can never predict what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
They-
Yeah,
why don't
I
they just
love
do
that.
that?
I
I'd
like
be
that.
happy with that. I'd be happy with okay, as long as it's not those Wii those My Sims things. Those were annoying on the Wii.
Oh
I-
yes.
Oh, yeah,
that
those-
was the
yeah.
most annoying series
My
on earth.
Sims. It was chibi. They were like chibi
Yeah.
Sims.
I remember
Oh,
some like
yeah.
secret
My
Sims.
disgusting. What the hell?
The triangle shirt.
But,
The Triangle Shirt Massacre. That's a tease to what we will be speaking about next week.
I mean,
Spicy.
if anything, I'm kind of hoping that Nintendo goes back to some of those like casual kinds of games, like a new Wii Sports. I think I'd be really excited for that.
Sam, I love Wii Sports. I don't care what anybody says. Wii Sports,
Wii
Wii Sports
Sports is great.
Resort.
Wii Sports
So
Resort
good.
I think, is legitimately fantastic. Like, I don't know if
so
I'd go
good.
so far as to say it's one of the best games I've ever made, because that's
Definitely
going really
not.
far. But
Yeah.
I think it's
It's
extremely
just so much
well done.
fun.
It's ridiculously fun. I still play that game to this day, and
Me
like people
too.
get excited when I like mention, "Hey, let's play Wii Sports Resort," and they're like, "Yeah."
Like most of my family doesn't like games, but they constantly ask me about Wii Sports Resorts like to this day.
Mhm.
Like my stepbrother's like trying to beat his high score in like freaking sword game or whatever. He doesn't even like games. I'm like, this is so weird. Like if there's one thing Nintendo's good at, it's like when they hit it, and they hit it good.
Yeah, and then you have your Wii U's.
And then you have your Wii U's.
Oof.
Oof. But hey, that maybe we'll save that topic for another day.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a ton of stuff that we could talk about. Branch off of.
So yeah, that's
All right,
my story.
great.
Not much of a story.
I guess
Games
it's
are
up to you
cool.
now.
So what's it up to me not to do?
It's up
Now
to
to say
you
your
to
story.
do. It's up to your story.
To do the do?
Yeah.
Now
Tell
to
us
do?
your life story. Tell us how
Are you
you started
sponsored by
playing
Mountain Dew?
games.
Yes.
Tell us how you came here.
How did you land on Earth?
All.
Why did you start?
Who
this
is your
podcast?
leader?
That I cannot tell you. Okay.
Are you even human?
Why did
Okay.
you invite us to this podcast?
We are getting in some uncharted territories right now.
That's
I
a
know.
good pun. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
very good pun.
It is a good pun because yes,
Because Uncharted's a game.
yeah, exactly. So, man, I came in late. Well,
Really?
not super late, but the first time I ever saw anybody play a video game was in New Jersey, because
Huh.
New Jersey is when I was old enough to actually have memories.
So you were 12.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Kyler.
And I remember because my mom was a nanny, and she nannied a brother and a sister, and she would always bring me over there, and Camden over there. Well, Camden, I don't think Camden was. No, Camden had to have been born during this. And they had a GameCube, and his name was Brandon. He would be like, "Oh, come look at this." And the first game I ever saw was Rocket Power. You remember that?
Oh my god, I
Nickelodeon?
played that.
Remember that Nickelodeon
Yes!
show? Yeah.
The game was so great.
Yeah, my first ever game was the Rocket Power GameCube game, where you would just go all over the city, and you would like skateboard, you would roller skate, you would do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And my mom, she was like, "No, you're like, it's never gonna happen." I don't remember how I got the GameCube.
You stole it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember how I got the GameCube, but eventually we got one. Before that, at night, my dad used to play the PlayStation 2 all the time. At night when he would come home from the workplace, because he worked in New York City at the time. So he would come back home, just relax at like crazy hours at night. But I would always be interested in what he was playing. So I was at like 11 o'clock when I should have been in bed, like peeping my head out the door, looking at the TV, seeing him playing like a Madden or something like that. It was always a sport game. It was always the sport games with him, and it still is. He never played. Well, okay, I will say he did play Second Life.
No.
He actually.
Oh
played
my
Second Life.
god.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was weird. It was
I remember
really,
my
really,
second
really.
life period.
Yeah, it was really strange. And so
I
we
just can't
got
imagine your dad
Oh yeah, I know. It was
on
so
Second
weird.
Life.
Was he e-dating?
Yeah. No, it's even weirder to think of my dad on Second Life if you actually saw what he looks like in real life.
Oh no.
He's not a person that you would think would be on like, it's just really good.
Oh my
Um,
god, I could just imagine him recreating his character or himself
know,
as
yeah.
a character.
So strange. It's just so strange. So I played I think the first GameCube game I actually got was Mario Kart Double Dash.
Mhm.
Holy crap. I played that game so much. And then I got Melee. Man, I can't. Oh, the biggest GameCube game for me was Super Mario Sunshine. And it's probably nostalgia, but I adore that game. I
It was
adore
a
it.
pretty great game.
Yeah, a lot of people
No.
like Sunshine.
The presentation of that game is off the charts. The way it makes you feel, just walking around Isle Delfino,
Yeah.
is something that I don't know if I've ever gotten the same feeling of. That it just like felt like super warm.
I love that.
And like inviting. The music was just so like addicting. Like I can just like the music is so vivid in my memory. Let's see. So I played Melee a lot, but mostly by myself, and we'll get into that when we go over our favorite bosses, because one of my favorite bosses.
Oh.
Yeah. Also in New Jersey, because we had a computer.
Wow.
I would play. There was this Disney roller coaster maker.
Oh, I was
It
hoping
was
you'd
like-
go
Huh.
for Toontown.
Well, trust me, I played me some Toontown as well. But there was this Disney roller coaster making game, and I was always so drawn in by the fact that after I built it, I could like ride it.
Wait.
And I,
What's the game called?
Disney, I think it was actually called Disney Coaster.
Let me see.
Huh.
Like straight up, I think it was called Disney Coaster.
How creative, Disney.
I look up Disney coasters and all I see are like
Disney
coffee
coasters.
table coasters.
Disney Coaster PC
Because it's
game.
reminding me of a game on the PS2 and the PC called
No, yeah, that's actually exactly what it was called. Just Disney Coaster.
Yeah, Disney's
Weird.
coaster.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I would just play
crazy.
that so much, and I would make rides for my family to go on and stuff like that. And even my mom, she got like really into it too. Like she even started making rides as well. Just super crazy. My grandfather was always into video games. I remember he told us a story about how my Uncle Dick, so funny. My grandparents went over to their house, and my uncle, he was like, "Hey, we got this new video game console," and my grandfather, he was like, "Oh, that's really awesome." My grandma was like, this is really stupid." So my grandpa thought that it was a great idea to get my grandma one of those for her birthday.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. It was like, one of those gifts that you give to someone because you want it, I think that's what that was. But back to me. Man, so we moved to Ohio, and Ohio is when things like really started picking up, I think. Also, Star Fox Assault. I played that game to hell and back.
Huh.
Star Fox Assault on the GameCube.
Is that the one where
So-
you get out and
Whenever
like
you're-
walk around?
whenever you give me a
Yes,
moment.
yeah.
All right. Look for this. I want to know if this is the MMO you were playing.
Mm-hmm.
4 Story. So
Four
number
Story?
4 and then Story.
Also, I looked up a copy of Spawn for the Dreamcast on eBay. It's going for $80.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, we got to keep that safe, Malik.
No, I don't think so. No, definitely not. The
That's
locations
another one I
were
only
much
remember
more,
with Lions.
the locations were much more urban, like cities, like weird
Okay.
steampunky cities.
Steampunkish, more urban.
Yeah.
Lion.
Okay, so let's see. So we moved to Ohio, and Ohio is when things really started to pick up because we lived close to Toledo, which is one of the larger cities and also one of the shittier cities of Ohio. But we were in like a nicer neighborhood. And so it was called Oregon, Ohio, and everybody knew each other. It was, I don't want to say it was great because it wasn't, but it was definitely a change of pace from what I was used to back in New Jersey, where, you know, obviously not everybody's going to know each other, just how big the communities are there. So as soon as I got to elementary school, everybody was playing on their Game Boys and everything like that. And I was like, oh, I don't have one of those. So we went, me and my brother, because we went to the same elementary school, we came back one day, and on the table, it was just random, like a random day, there were just two balloons, Pokemon Fire Red, Pokemon Leaf Green balloons. And underneath them was the Game Boy case for Fire Red and Leaf Green. And me and my brother were like, oh, holy shit, we made it, we've ascended. And so we played those games religiously. I had a Game Boy, again, I don't remember when I got them, but I had a Game Boy. I had the Shrek version of the Game Boy.
Oh, no.
The one that
I
was
love that
green
Game
on the
Boy.
bottom.
Are you okay?
That was orange on the top. Well, I'll tell you what, my Game Boy's not okay. Because one day I came back from eating at this Asian restaurant, and immediately I went down to my Game Boy that was charging, and I started playing it. And like 5 minutes in, I was playing Shrek 2, the movie, the game. I remember this. I just puked all over my Game Boy. Just like all over it. And as soon as it happened, I was like, Mom, I needed to clean my Game Boy. I need to play this game. Like, immediately.
Oh man.
So she was like, oh, okay, are you fine? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. I don't know what the hell just happened. I just need to play Shrek 2, the game. So I mean, that happened. Fire Red was like, the thing with these games was that I just thought that they were normal, like just normal games. Like these are what video games were.
Interesting.
Because yeah, it was interesting because I don't remember any of the like really like shovelware games that I played. Like most of them that I played were actually I don't want to say good, because there is some shovelware that is decent, but like for some reason the games that I got were always of like better, like the better games that you would get. So I always thought that these were like the games, except okay, Shrek 2 is obviously not good. It's
You don't know.
Yeah.
Go back and
It's-
see,
yeah,
see how it holds up.
there was also a Game Boy game, a Disney skateboarding game.
I know
Um,
exactly what
I
you're
know
talking
what
about.
Yes.
Oh my god!
I-
Wait, yes, I played a small demo of that in the stolen
Yeah.
ones.
I would always play as Turk from Tarzan in that game.
Oh
Just
no.
so wild. But as I grew up in Ohio, I thank God I was subject to Pokemon at the time, because so was everybody else. And the DS had come out a couple years after we moved there. So I was like, Mom, I gotta get a DS. So I got a DS, and that's when I like actually started to make friends, because everybody had a DS, and if you had a DS and Pokemon, you were in, and everybody knew each other. So we were always like trading Pokemon. Everybody, like even the people, like oh my God, it was insane how much Pokemon took over like this small town. Just everybody, we would like sleep over at one another's houses, and we were just playing Pokemon all the time, constantly. Diamond and Pearl were like the hottest things on the planet. And then Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out. Heart Gold and Soul Silver
Oh, that was so good.
they're my favorite Pokemon games. Half due to nostalgia, half due to the fact that they're just the best. And they came out with they had the Poke Walker.
The pedometer thing.
Yes. Oh man, I had that thing on at all times. Me and my brother, we would always walk around with those things. Like,
Wait,
oh,
how old
man.
were you when that came out? I'm curious. This is gonna hurt me.
Let's see. When did that game
I
come
was
out?
in high school.
Heart Gold and Soul
Oh.
Silver came out 2010 here.
Wait, when?
2010.
Dude, Kylie.
Don't tell me middle school, dude. If you tell me middle school, I will. My entire being will just shatter.
Yeah, dude. I was in 7th grade.
7th grade? I was in 10th grade.
Oh, wow.
That's not as bad as I was thinking.
Okay, no, I wasn't a
expecting,
senior.
like,
I wasn't
in
a
fourth
senior.
grade.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out while we were in Texas, which is really interesting.
Ooh.
But so it was Platinum. Platinum came out before Heart Gold and Soul Silver, correct?
Yes, a year before.
The year, yeah, okay, so that makes sense. Platinum was the game that, like, I was like, wow, okay, Pokemon, this is good. This is good. Like, this is here to stay. Like, Diamond and Pearl weren't just a fad. These are games that are concrete. Like, they're in. No matter when they come out, people will play them. No matter who they are, people will play them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I think that was like a thing for a long time. Platinum was.
yeah. I just hadn't known that, you know,
Mhm.
because I'd gone from Fighter Red straight to Diamond and Pearl. So that jump from Game Boy,
Weird.
early Game Boy, or not early Game Boy, because obviously there were games that came before that, but just Fire Red to Diamond and Pearl was such a huge jump to me.
Oh yeah.
It was incredible. Also, Brawl came out. Games up into, I'd say, about 2009 had always been a social thing for me. Right? They had always been a way to find friends and to like come together and bring people together and just play these games. And I still think that's when games are at its best, even if it's single player or multiplayer. Just
Yeah.
I feel like games are best when you're like talking about them and talking about your experiences with them.
Mm-hmm.
So after we moved to Texas in 2009, me and my best friend Aaron, we would always call each other like every weekend, just be like, oh, hey man, what are you doing? What's up? And then we saw the trailer for Uncharted 2. Okay,
I
And we were
remember
like-
watching that too.
we were like, sweet Jesus, I have to have this game. Like, I have to have this. Oh wait, it's on PlayStation 3. I don't have a PlayStation 3. I only have a Wii. My Wii story is interesting too. I'll tell you this because it is a pretty good story, I think. So the Wii was when we lived in Ohio, and again, the Wii just blew up more so than even the DS Pokemon games did. Everybody had a Wii. If you didn't have a Wii, then why do I come over to your house? You know, it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, you only have a GameCube? Like, why don't you have a Wii? I gotta play my Guitar Hero. I gotta play Super Smash Brothers Brawl. But so I don't remember how old I was. When did the Wii come out? 2006.
Yes.
Yes.
Jesus, I was 7. I was 7.
Oh,
that
man.
it's ridiculous.
What?
I was 7 when the Wii came out. Shit, I hate it. And I remember my mom was out,
Wow.
and for some reason, I was sitting at the computer, and the Wii was a thing, and for some reason I was like, it was like a month or two before Christmas, and something came over me, and I called my mom, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, I have to confess something." And she was like, "Oh no, what'd you do?" And I was like, "I found your receipts for the Wii, even though I had not seen anything." Okay.
Wow.
And my mom was like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Okay, well, I guess I'm going to take it back." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And she was like, bye.
Reverse effect.
No, dude. So I hung up, and I had no idea what the hell she meant because I didn't know that she actually bought it. I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "What does she mean? She's just going to take it back? That doesn't make any sense." So, so my mom comes home, and she's like, "Okay, so we gotta we did buy a Wii, but because you saw the receipt, I'm going to take it back." So I was like. I was almost on the verge of tears, and I was like, "But Mom, I didn't even see the Wii receipts. I was just kidding. Like, I actually don't know what made me say this." And so she was like, "No." She was like, "Nope, I'm taking it back."
Wow.
So I was bummed. I was so bummed. And then Christmas came along, and I was sad. I was like, "Oh, well,
You knew.
this is not going to be. This is going to be a bad Christmas." So she was like, "Okay." After we had opened up all our gifts, I was like, "Wow, this is bad. Like, this is not good. We didn't get anything." And then my mom was like, "I'll be right back." Okay, I don't know how the hell I didn't realize that Santa wasn't real at this point. Like, I still believe Santa was real, and even though, dude, my mind, it was so fucked. Mom,
It's in my head,
mind was
man.
so
That's Santa.
It was like, "Mom, I found this receipt, and I believe it's Santa." I don't know how that works, but it does. And so my mom was like, "I'll be right back." So she goes into her room. She comes back out with this other gift, and she says, "Open this." And at this point, my grandfather pulled out his camcorder. Ah, man, there's something so nostalgic about camcorders and Christmas. Just like Christmas video.
Right?
They're so great just to watch them. And so I was like, "No, this isn't going to be anything. This is doing more fucking clothes." So me and my brother were sitting around. I'm opening it really slow. And just "Oh, this is bad." And then I see the white box, and my eyes just light up. And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is real. Santa came in clutch." Yes. See, Mom, you didn't have to get it for me. Santa got it for me.
Yeah, screw you, Mom. Santa's the real hero here.
Yeah, and then she said, "Yeah, we didn't want to punish your brother because he didn't see anything, but I still believe in Santa, even though she said that." She just admitted, straight up to me, straight up to both of us. We didn't want to punish your brother, so we got it. I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks, Santa." So that whole day, we were just playing the Wii, man. It was we played a lot. We played pool. We played the Tanka game. Man, we played so much stuff that day. Tennis was definitely a big deal. My grandfather, even though he had the stupid things around his wrist, he still somehow managed to throw the Wii remote into the TV.
No.
And it didn't break or anything. But
Oh,
I remember
okay.
he was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Oh." Never heard that before.
And then Grandpa ran away, never to be seen again. Out of
never seen him
shame.
again. Yeah. So yeah, that's my Wii story. My mom was also one of the last people at the store to get the Wii, which was insane because she actually did buy a Wii, and then she actually did go and return it, and then it was super rare, but luckily she was able to find another one.
Oh.
So that could end poorly. So 2009, Uncharted came around, and that's when everything changed. That's when I was like, you know what? Games don't have to be the social thing. Games can just sit down, relax, play it. You're invested. We've always had movies and stuff, and I was always super involved in that. But I'd never seen a game so cinematic and so close to, I guess, real life. The graphics were just beyond anything I'd ever seen before.
Yeah.
So
I get that feel.
yeah, so Uncharted 2 was insane. My first ever rated M game was Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, that's a good one to start off with.
Yeah, it was. And the only reason why I got it was because that the year after that came out, I think Modern Warfare 2 came out in 2010. The year after that came out in April, I ruptured my spleen.
No,
Whoa.
In
Modern Warfare 2 was 2011. Sorry
was
to
2011?
disrupt the spleen story, but yes, Black Ops the original was 2010.
wow,
Wow.
Anyways, about your spleen.
yeah, okay.
Anyways, about your spleen.
My spleen.
That's so weird. Modern Warfare.
Did your spleen rupture because you played an M-rated game? Is that what happened?
Yes. Man,
Okay.
I really remember. Maybe it was Modern Warfare 1.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Or actually, no,
rupture-
no, wait, no, I'm stupid. Modern Warfare 2 was 2009. I'm thinking. Of
yeah,
Modern
I was gonna
Warfare
say.
3.
Yeah, I was like, that seems a
my
little
world,
late.
my world was about to be fucking like turned upside down. Like seriously, my like, comprehension of time just like went out of the window in those brief couple of seconds. I was like, no, this is not possible.
This can't be.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. In 2009 or in 2010, in April, I ruptured my spleen, and my aunt was like, "Okay, if you could pick anything right now, what do you want?" I was like, "Okay, don't tell mom and dad. Modern Warfare 2, okay? Modern Warfare 2." And why don't you want me to tell mom and dad? I was like, "It's rated M," and she was like, whatever. They'll understand." So I got it. And my mom and dad like gave me one of those like you pulled a sneaky one on us, but they didn't give a shit after that. But my best friend Aaron in Ohio, I was like, oh man, he doesn't have this game and he's not able to get rated M games. I'm gonna call him really fast. So I called him and I was like, Aaron, you put your mom on the phone. I need to speak with her.
Whoa. Taking
Yes.
charge.
So Aaron's mom got on the phone. She was like, "Yes, how are you doing? So sorry to hear that your innards exploded." I was like, "Oh yeah, it's fine, it's fine. You gotta let Aaron get Modern Warfare 2, okay? I know it's rated M. I know that there's a scene where you literally massacre people in a
Ooh.
fucking, but hey, it's okay." And she was like, "Okay, that's fine." So that's how we both got into rated M games.
Excellent. Speech
Yeah.
100.
So yeah, speak instantly. My
Dude.
speech went to 100.
It's
Yeah?
so weird. It just shows me like different like I don't know parenting. It's just
Yeah.
like different games to introduce you to because like mostly through like I had no restrictions at all.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
I started out with M and I just moved
Dude, I was
on
playing
to M.
Devil May Cry when I was 9.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I beat
Like,
Devil May Cry when I was 9.
Like 12 years old was when, yeah, or let's see, 2010 was 8 years ago. So damn, dude, 11. 11 was when I first played a rated M game. My friend had
Damn.
Resistance 2, and that was rated M, and he let me borrow that, but I had to hide it from my parents, so I like hid it under the couch.
Nice.
Man, but like, okay, and then Jonathan, when did you arrive into Texas? Was that
That was
2011?
2012, June.
2012. Holy shit!
It's gonna be 6
Wow.
years, man.
I know it's crazy. It's 9 years this year for us.
Ah,
I will say,
Yeah.
Uncharted.
Be right back.
Yeah,
Okay.
as much as Uncharted 2 really had an impact on me, I would say Uncharted 3 had an even bigger one.
Same.
Just because in September my grandmother passed away, and so the only thing that like actually kept me up was the fact that Uncharted 3 was coming out,
Wow.
and like a couple weeks after that,
mhm.
and my Aaron and his mom, they were like, "Well, okay, we're gonna buy you Uncharted 3 straight up." And I was like, "Wow, that's like, thank you so much." And the bad thing about that was that when the game came out, I couldn't play it for 2 weeks because I was grounded.
Oh no.
So just in a manila envelope was just Uncharted 3 for 2 weeks, just staring back at me, man. Just like with these eyes. And I was like, oh, I have to play this now. Finally, I got my grades up and I was able to play it, and I beat it in like a day. And
Nice.
me and Aaron just blew past it. I had Uncharted 2, or me and Aaron, we were playing Uncharted 2 like a week after my spleen ruptured, and then we were playing it, and then I started I got this really nauseous feeling, and while I was on the phone playing with him, and what happened there was my spleen ruptured again
What?
while I was playing Uncharted 2. Yeah, because I had gone swimming.
Sign.
I'd gone swimming, and going swimming actually ruptured it again. So they went in.
Oh,
and fixed it
Lord.
up. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
You gotta get that spleen fixed, dude.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Well, it's not there anymore.
Okay, yeah, get that out of there. You don't want that in
So,
there.
2012, Jonathan came along, and I think definitely the thing that hit off our relationship was PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
Yep.
The beta.
Interesting.
I had
Yeah.
an extra beta code.
Yeah, exactly. And I was
Wow.
like, I need to get in on that. So we did. And then I had a surgery on my leg that, I had 9 surgeries in one day on my leg. So I was out of school for a good 3.5 months. And during that 3.5 months, I played all of the Mass Effect games. I beat Borderlands 2, and I was like, oh man, this is good. And I think after that was when me and Jonathan actually started becoming good friends, because he had to help me
Yeah.
with books and all that stuff. So he introduced me to Ace Attorney, which is now it's my favorite game series ever. So
Huh.
thank you. And then Danganronpa, visual novels. Just I think through the PlayStation 3, I was just given so much more of a library to go through of different genres. And Jonathan opening up me to visual novels and stuff. I was I got this just this taste of a bunch of different things. So that's when I started broadening my horizons more and more. So I
Yeah.
guess that's
Awesome.
what leads me to where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Now really playing everything.
Nice.
That was wild. Sorry.
Radical.
Okay,
No, that was beautiful.
So, if we're ending off this section, I had a question. So,
Mhm.
if you had to pick out of all your experiences,
Mm-hmm.
this is mainly because I forgot some stuff, but what would you put as your top list? I'd say you can range from 3 to 5 of what influenced how you feel about games today. What you expect out of a game. What are those?
Okay.
Because I know it's difficult, but you can say what major experience, you know?
What do we prioritize in a game, basically?
Yeah. Based off those.
For a while, for me, it was a story. I love a good story.
Hmm.
But
Mhm.
after playing games like stuff like Mario Odyssey and especially Zelda Breath of the Wild, even though I wish Breath of the Wild had a more involved story,
Hmm.
I've been really valuing a game that just gives me all these mechanics and systems and then just
Mhm.
throws me in this world and lets me play with them.
Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff, but I still do
If you
love
had
me
to
a
put
good
something
story.
because you like yourself a good story, what set that that high of a bar where you need that story?
It was two
You know,
games.
something.
Yeah, it was the first time I played Uncharted 3 because I had never played Uncharted 1 or 2 before. I
Uh-huh.
started with 3, and never have I ever played a game before where the characters, just the acting and all this stuff is
Yep.
so well put together. I was like, what? I
Uncharted
didn't know a video game could do this, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uncharted
then,
2, 2009 Christmas was when I got the PS3, and that Christmas was by far the best
Nice.
I've ever had. And Uncharted 2 is, I think, what sets the bar for me because, yeah, it's the characters. I never knew how intricate of a story that you
Right.
actually got your hands on and played could affect the way that you take in a narrative like that. And then the fact that it had multiplayer to it, and the multiplayer was fucking phenomenal. It was the fact that it just had the best of both worlds, just something that you could do on your own, and then take in what you learned from that, the mechanics and
Mhm.
the way that they put that into the multiplayer. So having the aspect of, okay, I can sit down here by myself, relax, take in this story, and then if I want to, I get some high octane action with my friends over here. So just having both, both aspects of a game, the social aspect of multiplayer, and then the very deep and intimate aspect of a story. I feel if you have both of those in a game, Like that's what I kind of expect nowadays. It's like I want you to either be the best in one thing or great in both things. I just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Uncharted 2 was like the perfect package for me, man. Like Pokemon just like opened me up to a bunch of social interactions with people and again, like Pokemon is like the exact same thing as like Uncharted 2, where you sit down with it, you have your time with it, and then when you wanna socialize with it, Pokemon has completely other separate side to it that you can do that with. So it's like if games have both things, that's when they're best for me.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, and I think I finally like realized what the one thing is, and I think for me it's world.
Mm-hmm.
It's what?
World.
Like building an atmosphere and stuff like that.
Atmosphere and world. And
Yes.
I think I could go back to Mario Galaxy.
I knew you were gonna say Galaxy.
Of course,
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna say
true,
Galaxy.
though.
Galaxy is so
That
true.
game-
It's so
Galaxy's
true.
so good.
That game, like you start off that game and it's like you're in like the festival, and then like you get shot off into space. The castle
Right?
gets lifted out of the ground,
Ah,
and you
Mhm.
get lost on this like planet, and the music is perfect.
Yep.
It's
I know,
all
I-
about like it's all about atmosphere. Like if the world and the music and
Mhm.
and of course the gameplay. Like I used to have like a hard limit on like, oh, it needs to have great gameplay. But I think at this point, I mean, I kind of take every game on its own terms. And like,
Yeah.
I don't have like a rigid standard. I think if this game is gonna be like purely a story, then it needs to have a good story. And if this game is gonna focus on purely the gameplay, it's gotta
Yep.
have good gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
gonna
think-
demand
I
the
think
same
the
for everything.
I think it's best when the gameplay, like when you don't think about the gameplay, or when the gameplay is so good
it just melts into the
that
background.
exactly. It's just cohesive, and you don't even think about it, and then afterwards you're like, oh wow, like that felt so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times I've played games where just like the gameplay really stands out, where the mechanics you're always constantly contemplating them.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're always tooling with them and playing with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put Prey on that list as well, just because of exactly that. How player agency is so huge.
Hmm.
Like you play how you want to play it, and I love that so much as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
mean,
I had to
guess-
make mine, I guess like from gameplay aspect, the first thing that set me up with that is probably Diablo 2.
Mm-hmm.
I started that at a really young age, and I don't know, just the stat system, that RPG stat system where I could keep going through,
It's addicting.
and yeah, I could keep going through the game, get someone to level 99, and then play, like if you were playing hardcore, you could just set them out and die, and you'd lose them, and then you start over again, and you make a better character,
Mm-hmm.
and you make the better character, you climb that ladder, and you just find out the best build. And that was amazing. You could make the shitty build too, just for fun. Like, oh, I'm gonna put it in this level 1 skill. I'm gonna put all my skills into this level 1 skill and just constantly do that.
Yeah.
So that set that up for me for everything else. And story wise, I'd say a big influence is probably like Silent Hill 2. I like
Oh,
when
yeah.
it's like reading to you,
Good choice. Yeah.
Yeah, and it I guess mysteries. Those
Silent
really
Hill 2
entice me.
is something I really need to get to because the atmosphere in that game seems on point.
It's so
Mhm.
good.
It's really great.
Like just the music and like the sound effects, just the random clanging and the dripping.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's that,
that
and then mini game wise, it's definitely like whacked and stuff like that. Just fun party games.
Mario
The
Party.
competition really gets you going, and it's all fun. And then there's real competition like League. I mean, stuff like that really set the bar for me too. It's just
Smash
that
Brothers.
toxicity you
is
feel.
very
It's actually no, yeah. Smash Bros gets pretty serious.
Seriously, like
But,
in my
I mean,
friend
if you
group,
play-
man.
If you play sports games too, you can get really upset. Like FIFA, you're playing
Mhm.
that, and your friend starts like shooting goals on you. You're gonna start kicking each other, trying to interrupt your
Oh,
shots.
Absolutely.
I love
Yeah.
doing like 8-player Smash, and it's all like fun and games at first. It's all laughs, and then you get down to like 3 or 2 people, and suddenly it's like I have to win. Just no more fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Because you're
I
in the
suck at
spotlight.
Smash.
Yeah.
I mean, I suck at Smash, but
No,
everyone I
you
know.
don't.
Oh,
Relatively,
Oh,
everybody
you
that
fuck-
Like,
yeah,
in our-
I guess relatively I'm good, but I'm not great.
yeah, like yeah, we have a pretty good friend group with Smash. Like we're all pretty good. I think you'd be the best. I think you're the best at it though, Jonathan.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't know. I think you're pretty good. Your Zero Suit Samus at least always seems to.
Uh-oh.
I was
Dominate.
playing Mario Kart with a friend earlier, and you guys are like way better than them.
Oh,
Like
shoot.
I'm not good at it at all.
Mario
I'm not good
Kart
at it.
8. Oh,
I'm terrible at Mario Kart 8,
I love
and I
Mario
was
Kart.
doing really well. Like I actually got first place in Rainbow Road, but they were doing 150cc, and they were not that great.
Mario Kart 8.
I
dude.
have some pride
to me.
in my Mario Kart skills. I will
Same.
say that.
Same, dude. I feel like I'm pretty good at Mario Kart.
It's all about the drifts, dude.
It's all about the
drifts.
drift.
Yeah.
I
all
remember
about the
playing
drifts.
Mario Kart Wii, and I remember trying to play with the Wii wheel, and it's like I don't like this. And
Oh,
then I
that's
got
a
rid of the
nightmare.
Wii wheel. I plugged in the nunchuck, and then
Mhm.
immediately, like 180, everything clicked. And then I don't know when I learned to just drift instead, but that was like the zenith moment
Yeah.
of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
This is how it's
Yeah.
done.
Like
I
your whole
pissed
world
off.
around you just changed.
I remember
Yeah.
there's this dude named Alec that we used to play with in Ohio, and I brought him over one day and we started playing Double Dash because Double Dash was my first Mario Kart, and I was like, maybe that's why I'm so good, it's because like that's when I started figuring out how to like drift and everything. And it was a battle mode, and I beat his ass so many times. He started crying, and I was like, "Dude, you can just leave." And he's like, "One more." And I
Jesus
and
Christ,
threw-
you
and
psycho!
threw like
you
a,
can just leave.
no, he threw like a temper tantrum, dude. And my mom was like, "Alec, I'm gonna call your parents. You need
Call
to
the
be
cops."
picked up." And I was like, yeah, dude, it's Mario Kart or die. Like in here, you
Wow.
either win or you don't. Get out of my house.
You're the actual monster.
Get out of my house.
So we have a criminal, a monster, and I forgot
No, but
what
I
Jonathan
hated this
was.
kid. Everybody hated this kid. This kid was fucking annoying.
We all
as
had
shit.
that friend in elementary school.
Oh yeah.
You just wanted to like you knew that you couldn't physically beat him, but mentally you could get in there and do some damage.
Oh no.
But I don't know. Just out of all those experiences, I guess you just it makes me feel like there's just so many different ways to enjoy a game. Just like you were
Absolutely.
saying earlier, and a lot of that is really when you get together with friends. I think competitive nature. There's also cooperative games like Splinter Cell co-op is so fun.
PUBG.
But yeah, PUBG. But the thing is, like, I love the competitive nature between friends as well. I really do have a sincere love for Dokapon Kingdom, and I wish you guys would play it more just so I could see everybody get more upset.
Dokapon Kingdom.
Yes,
What is Dokapon Kingdom?
it
Fuck
is
that,
an
dude.
amazing game.
I'm
That's so
looking it up.
unfair.
Let's see. Oh, what is
Fuck
this?
that game.
You go
Is it
from
game,
zero
what is it, game for
to
baby?
hero, or you just go from 0 to negative
Is this
1
a-
to
is this a
20.
It's
Yeah.
like Mario Party, but if it was like an RPG instead.
Whoa, this actually looks. I dig the style of it.
It's interesting.
It's so fun, and it's such a piece of shit.
It is heart crushing. It's heart crushing.
Whoa, this is a DS one.
It
Weird.
gives you hope. It gives you false hope. That's what that game does. It's not
That
like
game-
Mario Party where it's
that game we
consistently
played-
shit.
Was hilarious because Camden played the whole thing awful, and then right
then
at
he
the
won.
end, something happened, completely flipped the table, and suddenly he was in first place.
Well, he killed
Yeah,
that
I was
guy.
killing.
He killed that
I was
guy.
killing this thing.
Everybody
yeah,
thought
Wilbur.
that it had like
yes.
300 HP, and it didn't. It had like 30, and then Candle walks up to it and just kills it, and then
Yeah.
he's a god.
Lord have mercy.
I don't know, man. Just ridiculous stuff. Crazy fun. So
It's a real
okay.
random game.
Next up, to end it off, we've been
Yeah.
talking for quite some time. I like this though. I knew immediately an hour and a half was like, yeah, give me a break. It's not going to be an hour and a half. It's going to be a long minute.
Yeah, it always happens.
To end it off,
we're going to talk about the best boss fights
Hmm.
in games. Okay.
Mhm.
So whoever's got something, just lay it on us. Lay it on us.
I guess I'll start off because I don't have much,
Mhm.
but I got one boss that I'm really fond of. I got a couple, but I'm gonna talk about this one because I have a lot of good memories of it, and I'm gonna go back to Galaxy again.
Mm-hmm.
This game is like my favorite game of all time, so obviously it's got a piece of everything, you know.
Yeah.
So it was the Bouldergeist,
Mm-hmm.
the Ghostly Galaxy, I think it was called.
I don't know if I remember that one.
It was the rock boss, and it's got like the two detached hands. And
Oh
like,
Yep.
yes.
you had to like spin into it, I think, to like break it apart and make it like a spirit. And then like all like the black goo would like go everywhere and become like the booze. Then you had to grab onto the booze, like whip them
Yeah.
around like you would Bowser in Mario
That was a
64,
cool boss.
and then slam them right back into it. But I think
Yep.
what really what made it stand out was when you had to do it with only one hit. And I think that was the hardest thing in that whole game for
Jesus.
me the first time, was trying to beat that boss without taking a single hit. And I remember my grandma was there, and this is like one of the last real memories I have with her, because she was watching me play the whole thing
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah.
me just trying over and over again to beat Bouldergeist with one health point. And I remember I must have gotten mad because she was telling me I shouldn't be so mad at this. It was a great feeling when I finally did it, and I'm pretty sure if I did it now, I could do it like no problem. But that was like, I think, my first real introduction to like challenging boss fights, and it's not that challenging, but at the
Mhm.
time, it was like, you know, it stuck with me, I guess. Just
Yeah.
like, from all the design elements down to the challenge of it and mechanics. It was a great boss fight. Well, Galaxy has a lot of great boss fights like that, but that
Mhm.
one stands out the most.
Also, I do want to
Yeah.
mention that we did skip over the Pokemon Switch stuff, but we'll talk about that next time. We'll talk.
Yeah, that's fine. We could talk about a lot of rumors.
Yeah, definitely.
There's way more than just Pokemon now.
Oh yes.
But
No, yeah. Boulder
The
guys, I
other
remember that guy.
the other one that really came to mind, and this is like a small thing, but I was just thinking of bosses, and it just like hit me. And in No More Heroes, I think the second to last boss, her name is Bad Girl,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that boss so much
Huh.
because of this one trick that it played on me. Because like you almost beat her, she's like at like her last health bar, and she just starts crying on the floor, right? And you think, okay, I'm gonna come in and hit her, right, and kill her. But it's a trap, because if you try to hit her, she like grabs you, like pins you
Oh.
on the floor, and just beats you to death instantly.
Oh, that's
It's like
awesome.
that. And
Jesus
the, and
Christ.
the music to that fight too is like my favorite track in that whole game.
Is
That
it?
game has a ton of great music.
I like the boss fight with that like goth looking girl, the Reaper one, or is it No More Heroes 2? I think it's No More
I
Heroes
think
2.
that's two. I need to finish two, which I gotta do soon because the new one's coming out.
Yeah.
But I think that was Philistine. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
the name of the
Philistine,
song.
Philistine. Yeah, that's the name of the song too. Yeah, there's something about that fight that's really interesting.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
No
okay.
More Heroes
since,
has a lot of great fights. Every single one of them is like really memorable.
since I have 6, I'll start
Oh,
going through some of mine.
hmm
The first one I want to bring up, and I hinted at it earlier, is Master Hand.
Yeah. Yep. I knew you were gonna go for that.
Dude.
It's so annoying.
Oh, I love that fight so much because it's so bizarre. Why the
It
hell?
is.
Why the hell would there be just a white hand that just like I still don't even like understand the context of it at all. I don't think there is any context.
because it's the glove finger that you use to pick your characters.
Whoa!
I know.
What?
in the
Yeah, so you're
intro-
fighting against that. Like you're fighting against yourself basically. Like don't
Whoa,
pick us
dude.
for these fights anymore.
Oh,
You know?
that's meta.
Oh,
The intro
Yeah,
to
it's-
the original Smash has that Master Hand picking up all the characters and like dropping them onto the field. So I think the intention is like, this is like you're kind of fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
what the hell, dude? That makes it even better. It's like it's so weird because the move sets were awesome where he like turns into a gun and like shoots you.
Yes, this trophy here for the hand, I think in Brawl, it says a being tied to the link between this world.
What the
So
fuck?
there you
dude?
go. You're fighting yourself, dude.
That is wild. That is wild.
I love the music during that fight too. Dude, there's something about Master Hand that's just so interesting to me. It's just like, like that's what Sakurai thought. Like that's what it was. Like that guy's just a genius, dude.
Those great boss
Yeah.
fights. We could start talking
Yeah.
about Kid Icarus Uprising here. Now that I remember some of those, but
Yeah. Oh my
I
god.
love
another
Kid
time.
Icarus Uprising
I
too
gotta-
much.
I gotta replay that game
Me
because
too.
I mean I think about it like all the time, and it's like
Me too.
I gotta give it another go because I love that game so much, but it's been so long since
I've only played it. Yeah, I've only played it like when it came out, and after I beat it, like I didn't play it that much again.
Yes,
like
like Master Hand.
I went
I-
back.
Oh, go.
Sorry.
What? No, you're
I know.
fine.
I'm just saying. Like I went back to listen to some of the Kid Icarus Uprising songs, and that soundtrack is incredible.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
Master
that's
Hand
it.
is up there. Another one I want to talk about is Riku from Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh,
Let me
Uh,
Google it.
It's Riku when he was a possessed Riku at the end of 1. I love that fight so much because that comes. I forgot. Does that come after or before you actually turn into a Heartless?
I think it's before.
Yeah, it's before because that is what turns you into Heartless. I think something like that.
Yeah,
I just love that fight. The music in
I
that
think
fight's
I think
great.
that fight is great because unless I'm forgetting any, I feel like that's the one fight in Kingdom Hearts, at least in the main story, not counting all the extra bosses that like really like tests you and makes you
Yeah.
use everything. You have
Exactly.
to like block and like parry, or not parry, but
Yeah.
strike back after you guard back and magic. And,
These different stages are really, really fun, really
Mhm.
interesting.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
Oh my god,
Riku.
I could start talking about Roxas from Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. That
mhm.
fight is balls.
So what do you guys
Jesus.
got? What do you guys got? Like,
right now it's been on my mind.
mhm.
Okay, well, I was talking about Shin Megami Tensei 4 earlier,
Yeah.
and there are some upsetting boss fights. Very upsetting. But this, by far, is the most aggravating one. This one brought me to my knees because, okay, the worst thing, after you die, every time you die, you will be forced to go to easy mode. So I had to restart my game every time I died because I didn't want to go for easy mode.
Oh wow! Why would the game do that?
Because it's demeaning, it's patronizing you. it's such a challenge, and I hate it. But it gave you that much more initiative to stay alive, which was
Yeah.
still very difficult. And
Mm.
there's this point where you fight a Minotaur,
Mm-hmm.
and he is ridiculous. He has no weaknesses, and even if he okay, he has a light weakness to fire.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it barely does any damage, and you have to keep buffing your heroes, and you have to keep debuffing him because he does so much damage. He just like one hit kills every one of your party members, and then he has that last win thing. You know how we're playing Monster Hunter,
Yeah.
and they have these like the Anjanath. He shoots fire at you. He one it kills you. He has that like kind of last wind where he's just like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
angry now. This is my final form, and he just wipes out your whole team.
Like you
think I
better
remember
kill
that
them
boss.
before this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Or you
The
gotta
boss
like
that made me-
decrease their attack enough.
The boss that made me quit that game was like there was like a Medusa boss.
The Medusa was easier than the Minotaur.
Really? Did she come
Yes.
before or after the Minotaur? Because I feel like
After.
I fought the Minotaur. Yeah,
She
okay.
came
For me, I didn't have that big of a problem with the Minotaur. For whatever reason, I could not beat the Medusa lady, and it made me quit
Oh.
that game.
I think bosses
See,
are so
it took me, like-
interesting for that exact reason. It's
It-
like
it took
some,
me, like,
some
a-
bosses are so much harder than others.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a different experience because also with that game, it's a different build of characters.
Exactly.
And like I guess mine right there weren't meant for him, but for the Medusa, it just took me like 2 tries. But for him, it took me
Really?
like 20. It was so
I fought
bad.
that Medusa like 10 times and was like, you know, it's not even worth it anymore. I quit.
Oh man, that made me so mad. But that's the thing. That's what I love the game for. It babied you, and that was patronizing. So you went to restart your game, and then it didn't let like you want it to be treated better. So it's just like
So
this
you straight up
middle path,
restarted
you
the
know?
entire game?
Every single time. Yeah. No, not like restart it like from the beginning. No, I wouldn't do that. No,
Oh
but
my God.
I would
No.
save and like restart
You're
the
a
game.
madman.
So that's it. It was terrifying. Dying was just like you didn't want it to happen.
Mhm.
There's that, and then if we're talking about like, I think this is more of an interesting boss fight because
Mhm.
there's really Spawn. You go through a bunch of boss fights. That's what the whole game is. It's like an arcade mode,
Yeah.
but
Oh, so it's like a boss
The
rush.
final-
like, actually.
yeah, it's a boss rush game, and but the final boss is Malboja, which is actually the devil in that universe.
Ooh.
And Malboja, it's crazy because they set you up on this huge ledge, right? It's actually terrifying, for me at least as a kid. You were on this ledge, you were going straight down the middle, and there was Malboja. He was huge. Like he was one of those bosses where you just see like his giant head and his arms just waving around.
Oh,
This
I
huge
love
lava
those.
world.
I
Like,
love those.
yeah, like you were straight up in hell. You were staring at him spitting fire, and he would spit fire down the lane every now and then. You could avoid it and go left and right. But it was a surprise
Yeah.
because as soon as you jump through and hit him, you hit him once and he's dead.
He looks disgusting.
Yeah. I
How
like
did-
the bigger versions more because the comic book version kind of makes him like kind of a less bigger guy. He's like kind of tall and
Yeah.
fat.
Huh.
I would
But
just
in the
delete my
game,
save
Spawn
after
in the
seeing
demon's
that.
hands, Malboja looks really cool. He's just like out of the
interesting.
lava, waving his arms around and shit. But it's just one hit, and he's done. And it's just like you're like, wait, what? When this happened,
Oh,
like
wow,
you
yeah.
just jumped in and smacked him with your hand, and he's done.
That is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's like I've never played this boss, but Psycho Mantis. It's just
Oh yes.
Oh
insane.
yeah, dude. Metal
Oh
Gear.
yeah, Psycho
Yeah,
Mantis.
those.
Just insane. What a
Ah.
wild, like Kojima. What a fucking genius.
I love Kojima. He's so weird.
Honestly, the boss fights in Metal Gear Solid terrified me as a kid, so I never played them. Not
Oh,
because they
really?
were scary, but they were just so fucking hard.
Yeah.
They took a lot of like just running around and
Mhm.
like going through your item box and everything. It was a lot.
So, Kyler, what about you? What are you thinking?
Just gonna throw this one out here. It's me and my sister used to play this game a lot. It is the Yeti from Barbie Explorer on the PS1.
Whoa, what?
Dude, look it up. Type in Barbie Explorer Yeti. This freaking Yeti. Never played this game.
What?
This is a game that should have been in the landfill.
What is that thing?
That's the Yeti!
What the fuck?
But for realsies, it's freaking.
Is this a Crash Bandicoot clone?
It might as well be. It's a boss I really
Uncharted.
love is Knight Artorias from Dark Souls. It's so good.
Dude, I rocked his armor set in Dark Souls 3.
Yeah. Like I love it when bosses like test all the skills you've learned up until that point.
I have a
And I feel
Dark
like-
Souls boss on here as well.
Yeah, like Artorias, he's so fast. And it's
Yep.
cool because like the thing about Dark Souls is like all the enemies apply to the same rules as you do basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, like
Yeah.
they have the same attack animations and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's really good.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that scale is like a very, very important part when you think of any boss fight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one of the ones that I love so much is because the scale of the boss is scaled down to your size. And I say Lady Maria from Bloodborne, the DLC.
Oh yes.
Lady
dude.
Maria, she is. I think she's my favorite boss fight in any Souls game. I mean,
Agreed.
I've only played Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
But like Lady Maria, like you said, she is the culmination of everything you've learned how to do in Bloodborne. and just like scaled up a notch, like just turned up to 110%, like
Yeah.
straight up. Her music is great, her armor is great, everything about her is great. But the best thing about her is that she's a hunter, like
Yep.
you.
I remember
It's awesome.
the first time I played Bloodborne, like the concept of like running into another enemy hunter, like I didn't know that was a thing that could happen. So the first time I ran into like a hunter, it was like the most intense battle. Because like
Exactly.
it's just you. You're just
It's
dashing
just-
against yourself and like shooting guns.
Exactly.
so good.
And, like Lady Maria was that. She just felt more special. And then her
Yeah.
her flames, like
Where she like stabs herself.
Yes, and then she becomes like a demon. Everything about that fight is so good.
It's a great
I
fight.
still think that the old Hunters DLC is some of the best DLC
Oh
in
yeah.
any game period. Like it,
Yeah.
it elevates Bloodborne from masterclass to fucking like God. God.
video game.
Like, oh my god, Bloodborne's incredible. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have something that is huge, something like ginormous. And it's funny because it's the very beginning of the game, and it's Poseidon from God of War 3.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, talk about an fucking intro to a video game.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Poseidon's scale. It was so good. Dude, you're Kratos, you're killing some harpies, and then the camera like zooms out and it's revealed that you're on top of this titan. And then you start like scaling up this thing that's like moving like slowly like up the side of a mountain, and the Poseidon, a god, comes in, and it's like, okay, I know exactly what this game is going to be. This game is going to be huge. That's what it's going to be, and that's why I feel like this fight, it cements the idea of what this game is going to be so well. It just like sets the tone. It's like, wow, in the first fucking 20 minutes of the game, I'm fighting literally like the second most known Greek god in existence, and I just like ripped 3 of his heads out. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah, it's pretty
It
wild.
just sets the tone, man. It's so good because the scale of that game, Kratos, this small little guy up against this ginormous god, and it's so good. It's so good.
Dude, okay, talking about scale, there's Azura's Wrath. That boss, I never played through Azura's Wrath,
Mm-hmm.
but
Me neither. Yeah.
it's just
Isn't there
that
a
final boss right here. I posted in Discord. He's just someone at that scale.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
It's like it
That's
fascinates me.
amazing.
Yeah. I was thinking about that guy exactly.
In Azura's Wrath, isn't there a point where you like fight Akuma or something? Like you just become Street Fighter? Like you just straight
I
up
think
become
so.
Street Fighter?
Wow.
I'm not sure.
Man, I want to play Azura's Wrath.
Yeah, I heard a lot of crazy things about it.
But yeah, dude.
I
Yeah.
keep hoping that it shows up as a backwards compatible thing on Xbox One.
Oh
That'd be
yeah.
awesome.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Until then.
Remastered. Give it to me.
Shadow of the Colossus is filled with a bunch of great bosses.
Yeah,
The
that's
bird
true.
one in particular is so awesome.
Yeah, I need to play that remake.
Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
played the game
You need,
before.
oh man, you need to get on that, boy.
I know I
I
do.
remember getting my PS3 and one of the
Talk
first
about
games I got,
scale, atmosphere. It's got all that.
one of the first games I got was that Ico and Shadow of the Colossus collection, and I feel awful because I tried playing Ico, and it must have just been like a bad day or something because I had to stop, and I just never got back.
Right
to
with the
it.
controls.
I'm the same way. Yeah, it's you. The controls are a real struggle, especially with Shadow of the Colossus. Like even with a remake, like it's a little clunky, but
Mhm.
once you get past that, it's
Yeah,
it's
it's like
pretty
the
good.
Last Guardian. Last Guardian is like the
Oof.
best. Like the way I describe it is the best worst game I've ever played.
Yeah, that's actually a really good description of that.
Story.
It's really strange how some bosses scale. Like
Yeah. No, it is.
they're more difficult for you, but there's just some that are universal. Like everybody knows they're the worst. I posted one in Diablo 2. This guy in the first time you play through, it's fine, but then you go to like a new game plus,
Mm-hmm.
and then he becomes like a pain. And in the final one, there's normal, nightmare, and hell. In hell, he is the absolute worst. Like there's attack speed and he wails on you. He looks, or she actually, she looks so massive, but she just
Mm-hmm.
poisons you and freezes you, and it's terrifying that even when you go to the final boss in hell, it's nothing compared to fighting this disgusting creature.
It is interesting the way that works, though. Like, just the way that bosses just work in general is just really interesting because yeah, you have those universally hated ones where you're like, this is definitely the hardest, and then you have the universally easiest ones, and then there's the in between where it's like, oh man, it took me so much time to beat the Bloodstar Beast, whereas in Bloodborne,
Yeah.
I didn't take much time at all for me to beat
Dude, for
that
me,
guy.
that was the second hardest boss I ever fought in Bloodborne was the
Exactly,
Bloodstar
exactly.
Beast.
And then I'm over here looking at Vicar Amelia, like, holy shit, this is the hardest thing in the world. And other
For me,
people
I
are like,
wiped her
"No, it's
clean
really
so
not."
easy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's weird.
Vicar Amelia, like, I dedicated a whole day. I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to beat Vicar Amelia. And then after I did, it was the best thing. Bloodborne is so good.
I love Bloodborne
Souls
so much.
games are so good because of the amount of emphasis they put on the bosses and how impactful they make each fight.
Yeah, I also really like their approach to storytelling, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like they found a good way to like tell a story in a video game where like
Yeah.
you can engage with the story if you want to or not, but it's
Yeah, exactly.
there. You know what I mean? It's weird.
But the atmosphere
Yeah.
is like good enough to carry you along.
Yeah,
Make
for
you
sure.
care
Oh,
about the
man.
world.
Okay, I don't know. I feel like one game with interesting boss battles. Have you guys ever played Vampire Bloodlines: The Masquerade?
No,
Someday
I want
I
to.
will.
I've heard of it.
Vampire
I want-
Masquerade Bloodlines. There we go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to.
It's very interesting. It's the boss fights, they have something else to them. It's like it's first person, so it's like a shooter, but at the same time it has like RPG aspects to it.
Mm-hmm.
So the boss fights take a different angle where you really need to take advantage of your skills on the bosses. And they can either be like a real piece of shit to fight,
Yeah.
or they can feel like they're just the easiest, boss ever.
Bosses in
If I had to name a
first-person games are so
specific
weird.
one,
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Oh, I was just gonna say bosses in first-person games are so weird.
yeah, they always kind of had this vibe, like Serious Sam-esque.
Yeah.
That's how they always make me feel, and that
Huh.
they're specifically too.
Borderlands boss fights are awesome.
Metroid
Yeah.
Prime, the original, has some pretty good boss fights.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does, but those are really like they're not taxing. Like they start out easy, but then they start getting like really
Yeah.
long. At least that's
Like-
how I feel about it.
The first one that comes to mind is like it's like a plant one, and you had to like go around like the corridor to like blow up like all the vines.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And then the
Something
next
like
one
that.
was the ice one after that,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
the giant thing.
I think that some of the best boss fights are when the core mechanics are completely flipped on their head.
Mhm.
Like in Fury. Have you ever played that? Like top-down boss rush game.
No, actually, I haven't.
Oh my god! It was like runner-up to my game of the year in 2016.
It was weird. It was a free PS Plus
So
2 game when
good.
it came out.
Yes, it launched on PlayStation Plus for free, and I wrote one of these down, one of the bosses, and it's the Edge, and so the game is like the top-down aerial view, and it's like a shmup boss rush where you're like dodging a bunch of shit, but then the Edge comes up, and it turns from top-down to straight up like 2D fighter.
Huh.
With the same mechanics as you would play in the like when the bosses were normal, but like same mechanics and everything. But it was just like a 2D fighting game, and it was so fun because it was like this like old. Go look it up, like the Edge Fury. Go look up that boss fight. It's super cool. The music in Fury is the best, dude. Like
Yeah,
Carpenter Brut did it. Danger is on it.
Time Shapers on it, dude. It's Scattles on it, dude. It's so good. Like Synthwave
Edge Fury.
Max, man. Fury, Furi, dude. That game is so good.
I
And
have it downloaded. I just never played it for whatever
Dude.
reason.
amazing game. And then my last boss fight on my list. And who here has played Final Fantasy 15? I know you have, Kylo.
I've played
Yeah.
it. I've played it quite a
That's-
bit. Yeah.
It comes
Dude.
out on Steam, I think, next month, and I'm
Right.
very strongly considering getting.
Leviathan, the Leviathan fight in Final
Is that the big? Is that the big boy?
Serpent. Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Where
yes.
you fly around with
Yes,
it, right?
dude.
That
I
that was
love that fight.
surprising.
It has my favorite track in that entire game too, the Leviathan theme. Oh my god, dude! It feels so just like zipping around everywhere, just like hacking on this guy, slashing on this guy, doing like crazy amounts of damage that I would just like dream of seeing if it wasn't a boss fight. Just like holy crap, I'm putting in like
Yeah, that was
millions and
crazy.
millions of damage on this guy. It's so cool because Noctis is like flying everywhere, man. Ah,
Yeah.
I love that game.
It was kind of crazy what they did to you in that fight. Like the
Mhm.
abilities they gave you.
Yes.
It's so
Uh,
I swear they showed that boss like years and years and years ago. Whenever it was still like Final Fantasy Versus 13.
Oh yeah, they
Like-
did because they showed parts of it where like the water
Yeah.
was like crashing through the
Yes.
yeah, man. Oh, wild stuff.
I remember
That-
seeing
that-
that and being like, I don't care about Final Fantasy, but whenever this game comes out, I need to play it.
I know.
It was
Yep,
so
that's
worth
exactly-
it, man.
Yeah, it was my first Final Fantasy ever, and I will
Same.
continue playing them from now on
Same.
out. Like, holy crap, I love that game so much.
I know one of my
Sorry to the haters, but I love it.
one of my goals that I would love to accomplish because it's going to be so ridiculously tough is I really want to try and beat like all the data organization fights in Kingdom Hearts 2, like all the super
wow.
bosses, the post game super bosses that are ridiculously tough.
Mhm.
But it's like I watch other people
Sephiroth?
do them. Well, Sephiroth is one of them, but then you have like super fights of every single organization member, and they're like ridiculously tough. They have ridiculous
Christ.
amounts of HP, and you need to like know them backwards and forwards, and like you need to know exactly what you're doing. And you watch other people do them online, and they beat them like it's nothing. Like they make them look ridiculously easy.
Boss fights, man. They're so interesting. Dr.
Like-
Freeze is another good one, actually, from Arkham City. I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one was pretty interesting.
Like this summer before 3, at some point I want to at least try to do all of these fights
Mm-hmm.
because it
Yeah.
just seems ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
What
I would
kinda,
like
like,
to, you know,
What's your favorite like boss rush games? Man, I don't really
Favorite boss rush games.
Cuphead is
really-
great.
I want to play Cuphead so bad.
Fury, man. Fury is like
Fury
Fury's
as
my
well.
favorite boss
I think
rush.
the only boss rush game I ever played actually was Shadow of the Colossus. I can't really think of too many. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I
Damn,
have to.
I really have to think about this. Yeah.
if I'd even played like a boss rush game because I know I've had Cuphead on my backlog since it came out. Came out at a really bad time for me, and I just never got back to it. Even though I was like looking forward
Cuphead,
to
all
game
the
for
all the
years.
bosses in Cuphead are really, really great.
Hold on.
Fury,
I'll
I
have
need
to
play.
hold up.
Shadow of the Colossus I need to play. Like all the big boss rush games I can think of right now, I haven't played. I don't know if I'm like forgetting something.
Oh, Titan Souls was really fun as well.
And Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, the best boss rush game of them all.
Technically, I guess a PvP game is a boss rush game.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
Mega
let's
Man?
go with Kirby's
Yeah.
Avalanche.
Oh, there
So,
was
I
one
think-
game, but I can't find it anymore. It was a game where you're on a spaceship, one man and a woman. The woman pink hair, the guy blue hair, and you were supposed to kill these worms. And after you killed all the alien worms, a bigger alien would come out every time. And that game was amazingly
For
fun.
what system?
It was for the Atari. I'm pretty sure it was either.
The 2600?
No, it was either for the Atari or it was for an old system.
Okay.
Either way, it was a
Huh.
top-down.
Weird.
It didn't look like Atari graphics though. That's the thing.
Huh.
It looked old, but not that old.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
interesting.
I wish
Weird.
I could still find it. It's like that's the only game I cannot find.
I think that you'd be able to, in a sense, call Monster Hunter a boss rush.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
I can see that.
So in that regards, I love boss rush games. I love bosses in general. That's
Yeah, bosses are
that's why
great.
I love Dark Souls so much.
Same.
Like those games, I love the experience of like, ooh, what will this next boss look like? How
Yeah,
will
and
you
like
fight?
what strategies will I need to impose to take him
Ex-
down?
Exactly.
Bless you.
Thank you.
God
You're not allowed to
bless
see on this podcast.
you. Yeah, eject.
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 Gonna get you all sick.
Yeah. Over.
Oh, another good one is on the PlayStation 2,
Mm-hmm.
the Gundam game.
The Gundam
I
game.
forgot.
The
Yeah.
fighting game, right?
Yes, but
It's
it
like a
was a
fighting
boss rush game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was
The Easy
it-
Allies.
I could probably find it, the specific one. Hold on. PlayStation 2.
Titan Souls is a very good game though. Titan Souls is really interesting because each boss has a weak point to it, and the thing with the game is that if once you hit that weak point, they die. But
Oh, I see.
the tricky thing is that you only have one arrow to do it,
Oh, that's right. I've
Uh,
been wanting to play that for a while.
and you have to like call back the arrow. So you could do some pretty crazy stuff like, oh, okay, I know this guy's going to land here, so I'm going to shoot my arrow there, and on the way, and I'm going to call the arrow back, and on the way back, it's going to hit the weak spot and kill the boss. It's really interesting.
Hmm.
If you have
Oh.
the
Well, I
opportunity
mean,
to
you
play
could
that, too.
consider. I mean, I know Diablo 2 is a Oh God, my PS4, my phone is being a retard. This is
Oh,
terrible.
really?
Yeah, I'm trying to do something on it. All right. Yeah, but no, there were like rush servers where you'd basically just fight through all the bosses as quick as possible,
Oh,
That's
that,
and I thought that was really fun.
I don't know why that just reminded me, but like every Kirby game has like an arena mode, like a true arena, where it's like a nonstop like gauntlet of every single fight. And you would think it's like not that hard, but I don't think I've ever beaten one.
Jeez.
Like
This
every
is
game
no,
has them.
this is the Gundam game I was talking about. This is one of the boss fight examples. It's so I missed this game.
Did you
Here
post
we
it?
go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now.
Let
Yeah,
us
yeah.
see.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
music too. It's so amazing.
This game looks like garbage.
The sound effects are just so great.
This is a game for babies.
Yeah. So yeah, those were some good deep conversations that we had there.
Yeah,
Even if we didn't-
definitely.
Even if we didn't get to everything, we
The Yeti from
definitely-
Barbie Explorer.
Yeti from Barbie Explorer. That
I think
is-
that's confirmed top
I think
boss.
that's top boss.
Definitely. Yeah. I don't think I could find a better boss than that.
No,
There's
it
a-
utilizes every skill that you learned in that game.
Exactly. Which is what, Kyler? Can you explain?
You collect things and you scream.
Exactly. Yeti boss is the best.
I think that's about like almost every other game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Cuphead. that's all
Collecting,
I did,
scream.
was collect and scream.
There was a Monsters Inc. game that's where you collect screams.
Oh yes, yes.
Oh yes,
That
actually.
is where you collect screams, yeah.
I remember I found Monsters Inc. for the Game Boy Advance in the middle of the road one day, and I
Dude,
took it home and played it.
Okay, that actually reminds me. I found there was a Super Mario game on the Game Boy, and it was like a mix of 1 and Super Mario Brothers 1 and 3 or something like that. I forgot what it was called, but
Mario Advance 4.
maybe.
Yeah, that sounds
The
right.
original Mario Brothers on it.
Yeah, I think so. And you could
Yeah.
like ride on Birdo.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's the original Super Mario Advance. That's
Oh.
2.
Okay, then yeah, that's it. I found it. Like somebody ran it over with a car,
It had like this huge indent on it. I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Same exact thing with the Monsters Inc.
This is a Game Boy game. So I picked it up, put it in, and it works.
Right?
Oh, it was
That's the
great.
same exact thing.
All right,
Weird.
so we are going to end it. Thank you, gentlemen, for partaking in these conversations.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, just remember the fee was $29 an hour,
Yeah, exactly.
Don't forget. and we did overtime. It was supposed to be an hour and a half, so remember it
Exactly.
doubles the price.
Yeah, please play up.
Yeah,
you
donate
take
to
a
our
rainbow check?
Patreon.
Donate to our Patreon. Not
Remember,
yet.
this is my PayPal.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
sure to send the money my
We'll
way.
do, Malik.
Sell out.
Don't want to get the law involved. I know where you live.
Well, like, you're
Alright.
a criminal. You're the last person to be asking for money.
Yeah, honestly, you are a criminal.
Yeah, he's gonna need all that money. to
Are you
pay
asking
the
for your
government.
bail? Is that what that is?
Thank you, everybody, that actually tuned in to listen to this episode, even if it was or is only 4 or 5 people. We appreciate you coming in and listening to us ramble on about video games.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. We love you.
Yeah,
Happy
happy
Valentine's.
Valentine's Day.
It's not
We spent our
Valentine's
Valentine's
anymore.
Day talking about video games.
What we love.
What we
Yes,
love.
Exactly.
What we love. The only thing that we love.
I don't like
Yeah.
video games.
Video
Yeah.
games are my
I just
game.
wanna play video games.
Like that boy is dead. Okay, he's dead, and you're making fun.
And
of him.
after that,
Oh, right, he
everybody
did
who
die,
ever
didn't
listened
he?
to us will
Yeah,
never
he
listen to us
actually did
ever
pass
again.
Yeah. So thanks for listening to episode 1 of the Boss Rush podcast. We'll be back next week. Really appreciate it. Adios.
Adios.
I am alive,
Streaming.
but I'm not on YouTube.
All right. So we are.
We should just
live
open
right
up
now,
a
but I think
vaporwave streaming
Yeah.
service where we have
Lord.
that picture of the girl with like the broken leg.
Yeah.
Remember that, Jonathan?
J-
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Just copy that stream.
Okay.
We just reverse the picture and make
Yeah.
it negative colors.
I am going.
We play the songs backwards.
Hey, it's gonna be the same thing.
All right. I'm gonna begin. Yeah. Oh, just okay.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Okay. Nice, Malik. Okay.
Hey, it says we're alive. Is that intentional?
No, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. What point is? Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of the Boss Rush podcast. I'm your host, Braden Lander, and today I'm delighted to be in the presence of Kyler Ramos,
Yellow.
Jonathan Ferris,
Howdy.
and Malik Fleming.
Hey, welcome to the Boss Rush podcast.
Welcome to the Bod Rush.
Yeah,
I'm your
welcome to my
host,
bar.
Malik Fleming, and I'd like to introduce you to my co-hosts, Kyler Ramos.
Wow, it's me.
All right, yeah. Hey,
Okay, I'm gonna do that one again. Oh man. All right.